With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time.
And what is going on, hockey fans? It is, as always, your host, the host of the Devil's State of Mind podcast here on the Hockey Podcast Network, Neil Villapiano, and welcome to another exciting live watch-along here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel here for the playoffs. And tonight is Game 3 of this Eastern Conference first-round matchup between the Carolina Hurricanes and the New Jersey Devils. The Hurricanes winning the first two games, not totally surprising, at home to take a 2-0 lead. But now the series shifts to the Garden State, and we'll see if the New Jersey Devils can have a response here starting tonight. Thank you, as always, as everybody, for hanging out with me and getting us going here. We're just a few minutes away from puck drop, so I do appreciate that you guys are starting to file in here as we get underway. And as always, guys, if you like what you see, make sure to leave a like on the stream. Hit that subscribe button and also punch that notification bell so you get notified every time we go live here for live watch-alongs throughout the Stanley Cup playoffs. And also, if you're in the comment section, please make sure to leave a score prediction in the comment section, and we'll see if anybody gets it right. If anybody gets it right, I will give them a shout-out at the end of this stream. Already got my guys from Sound the Siren, a Carolina Hurricanes fan cast, which is also here on the Hockey Podcast Network. Says, have a great show. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. And my good buddy, Zach Martin, who covers the Carolina Hurricanes for the Hockey Writers, as well as one of the co-hosts of the Surge Cast, which again covers the Carolina Hurricanes here on THPN. And if we got any of my Carolina friends from the network that want to join in, let me know. And you guys could definitely jump on the stream with me here for this game. But so far, it's just going to be yours truly doing this one, and I am really excited as always. Definitely hoping that my New Jersey Devils can get back in this series here, starting with a hopeful win at home here in game number 3. What's going on, H Hockey from Home? Good to see you. Happy Friday. It is a wonderful evening for some hockey here. We already have one game going on tonight in the Stanley Cup playoffs as the Washington Capitals and Montreal Canadiens are tied at 1 after one period of play. In that game number 3, Capitals have a 2-0 lead in that series. And like I said before, it is good to see you, HH. Very good to see you, my friend. And again, make sure to leave your score predictions in the chat. The big news coming into this game, other than the fact that the Hurricanes have a 2-0 lead halfway towards advancing to the second round, but the Devils are getting a little bit of some depth back into their lineup as Jonas Siegenthaler, who has been out for nearly 2 months with a leg injury, is surprisingly back in the lineup here tonight, making his, not his debut, but finally just getting back into the lineup on the back end for the Devils, which is absolutely huge for this team, especially considering both Brendan Dillon and Luke Hughes will each be out tonight here for this one. They both missed game number 2. So the only really change is that Siegenthaler's in and Dustin Chowalski is out. Shimon Nemec, who played game number 3 in relief of one of Brendan Dillon or Luke Hughes, will be back in the lineup here for game number 3. But the big thing coming into this is obviously Devils win. They cut the series down to 2-1 with game 4 on Sunday afternoon in New Jersey, a 3:30 p.m. start time. But if the Hurricanes win, then they will push the Devils to the brink of elimination with game number 4 coming up. My good buddy Andrew H. saying, real deal, Neil. Devils have to get on the comeback trail. He's going to go with a 4-3 win for the Devils tonight. PJ Jones is going to go with, I'm assuming that's going to be the Hurricanes, considering by the emoji. So I'm just going to assume he's going to go 4-2 Carolina. So we got 1-1 so far. Still a couple minutes here before puck drop. They're about They're about set to do the national anthem and get this one underway. As for me, I'm going to go because I've been confident all day long. I got the good vibes with me. I think the Devils are going to find a way to win this one tonight. I know that they have to score more than one goal. They've only scored one goal in each of the first two games, one goal being from Nico Hischier, the other from Jesper Bratt. I'm going to go with the Devils finding a way to win this one tonight by the final score of 3-2 in regulation. I think it's going to be a tightly contested game between these two teams. They have been battling it out since the opening puck drop of game number 1, and tonight should be absolutely no exception. PJ confirming that he is going to go with Carolina. So, again, Andrew H. going to go 4-3 Devils in this one. And PJ Jones is going to go 4-2 Carolina in this one. And again, make sure to leave your score predictions in the chat. And like I just mentioned, I'm going to go with a 3-2 win for the Devils in this one. So I'm just going to put that in the chat real quick. So I'm just going to give me 1 second here as we're live both here on YouTube and also over on Twitch as well. If you happen to be from over there. So again, I put Neil takes the Devils winning 3-2. Kevin Red says, why were games 1 and 2 started at 6 p.m., not NHL playoff format? I mean, look, game number 1 between these two teams was started at 3 o'clock in the afternoon last Sunday, Easter Sunday, and then game number 2 was at 6. This one's at 8, and then game number 4 is at 3:30. A different start time for every single game so far this series. I don't really have a good explanation for you at all, honestly. What's going on, my friend? Good to see you back again, Neil. Glad to see a fellow Neil is a Jersey fan. Yes, I do cover the New Jersey Devils on the Hockey Podcast Network. Again, Devil's State of Mind. If you guys have not checked it out already, that's my podcast. And yeah, I've been a Devils fan my whole life. My good buddy RJ giving us those score updates again, 1-1 between the Capitals and Habs at the end of the first period. Shots on goal 15-7 in favor of Montreal after 1. Starting goaltenders tonight, again, the same as the first two games. Freddie Anderson, who's had a great start to the playoffs, is in net for Carolina. Jacob Markstrom, who has played very well in his own right, will be between the pipes for the New Jersey Devils in this one. This should be a lot of fun, guys. I'm excited. I hope you guys are as well. And game number 3 of this Eastern Conference first round is officially underway. So let's see what both teams do here as we get a early icing against the Devils just 9 seconds into the contest. So again, it's Jacob Markstrom in net for the Devils. Again, they're going to be looking to him. They're going to be looking to him to continue to play strong in net to give the Devils the chances that they've been getting. And Freddie Anderson has been just a little bit better. 2-0, a 1.00 goals against average, and a well above 900 save percentage. A Slavin shot there gets blocked in front, and Palat will dump it out of the zone where he tried to reach out to Timo Meier. Now Meier gets it, and he'll flip it into the Carolina zone. Brent Burns now taps it up along the boards. Intercepted by Kovacevic. Throws it in front. That one is stopped. Puck is loose in the crease, but Anderson covers. And both teams are pushing and shoving, unsurprisingly, right away here. But the Devils with an early shot on net there on Freddie Anderson. Had a little bit of trouble controlling it, but he controlled it nonetheless and keeps the Devils from getting that all-important early lead. Now it's less than 30 seconds in. Just a good job there by Kovacevic. Just throws it at the net. Hischier standing all alone, trying to poke it through the legs. There was a little bit of an opening, but a good job there by Freddie Anderson to cover that puck before anybody could squeak it past them. And then, of course, we had some pleasantries after the whistle. Face-off here won by the Hurricanes, and it's going to be Blake coming up the other way, and he'll flip it into the left corner in the New Jersey zone. Jarvis and Kovacevic fighting along here on the boards. Puck still in the left corner here of the Devils zone. Meier gets to it where Brian Dumoulin will slow it up, and he'll bounce it off the boards and back out near the Carolina bench. And now here comes Andre Palat into the zone. Palat tries to stop and take a shot, but it gets broken up. Dougie Hamilton backhanded to keep it in. Now the Devils still have it. Hischier in the left corner in the Carolina zone. Hischier tries to make a feed, gets broken up. Brad falls down, no penalty. Stops on a dime, loses the puck. Gets around one player, throws a shot on net, and that one goes into the glove and covered by Freddie Anderson. So the Devils trying early on here to put some pressure on the forecheck, something that Carolina has been tremendous at throughout this series. The Devils 7-3 record in Game 3 when trailing 2-0 in a series. They are 4-2 at home. So obviously there is something good there that you could take away from the fact the Devils are down 2-0 and they're back home here looking to try to get back in the series. Jonas Siegenthaler, as mentioned before, is back in the lineup tonight. He is making his first shift of the night here in game number 3. And that one looked like it was cleanly won by Roslovic, but they'll do it again. And also yesterday, there was the first round of the NFL draft. The second and third rounds are going on right now. That shot in front gets blocked. It's on the Hurricanes trying to get it out. Intercepted there by Nemec, feeds it now to Hall. Hall, turnaround shot gets blocked, gets deflected to the right corner. Devils trying to keep it in, but it comes out of the zone here. And now the Devils will go back and reset. Shimon Nemec, just his second career playoff game. His first came in game number 2. As he came in for the injured Brendan Dillon, where Chowalski came in for the injured Luke Hughes. And again, both Brendan Dillon and Luke Hughes are out of the lineup again tonight with undisclosed injuries. So that, again, some big losses, but they do get Siegenthaler back, which is great nonetheless. This is his first game, Siegenthaler, since back on February 4th. So again, this is huge for him as Taylor Hall comes in for the Hurricanes. That gets broken up, and then the Devils slowly look to come the other way. Nason will dump it in. Taylor Hall, his first playoff game in New Jersey since game number 4 of the 2018 Stanley Cup playoffs when he was a member of the New Jersey Devils. As now Cotter with the puck behind the net. Cotter still with it. Feeds it in front. Just got broken up where Glass was there. Hamilton with a shot that just goes wide of the net, and it comes back out. But Anderson will cover it here just about 2.5 minutes into the game. Still no score. Evening, Connor. Good to see you, my friend. Happy Friday. Thank you for hanging out with us. And you as well, Jared Brown. Good to see you. And Connor, you bring up a good point. Edmonton Oilers, game number 3 against the Kings later on tonight. Big story. Calvin Pickard will be in net for the Edmonton Oilers in game number 3 after 2 abysmal performances by Stuart Skinner. So again, you can make a case that maybe it is a little desperation considering that the Oilers desperately have to get back in the series because otherwise this could end very, very quickly. Going back to this game, that puck is dumped into the right side and it'll be an icing here against the Devils. 17:24 to go in this first period. Still no score. Sheldon Keefe mentioned earlier today that while Siegenthaler's injury is fully healed, it's more about conditioning for him. And so he's obviously playing tonight, but at a lower role than what he normally would be playing at. So it's going to be this slow build-up here, and I would imagine in game number 4, he'll play a little bit more, and so on and so forth. Basha gets crunched along the boards. That puck goes all the way down, and it'll be another icing against the Devils. So a couple of early icings here for the Devils, something you want to try to avoid as much as possible. You don't want to give Carolina some easy opportunities in your own defensive zone. Good to see you, Stoffel. It has certainly been a minute. I remember interacting with you throughout that second round series between the Devils and Hurricanes 2 years ago. But it's good to see you again, my friend. And thank you for hanging out with us. Best of luck the rest of the way in this series. And you're absolutely right, MAG. Devils desperately need to get the win tonight because if they don't, they will be on the brink of elimination going into game number 4. Jack Roslovic in the offensive zone for Carolina. Gets broken up for a second, but regains the puck. Gets it back top of the point. Chatfield now left side over to Orlov. Orlov back right side to Chatfield. Chatfield throws it to the net, but it gets blocked. Orlov keeping it in. One-hands it to the corner in the New Jersey zone. And now Nate Bastian over on the right side trying to get it out. He cannot. Now to Orlov on the left side. Orlov takes a shot through traffic, pops up in the air. That never reached the net, and it'll go all the way back out of the zone. And the Canes dump it back in while both teams make a change. Brett Pesce coming off a phenomenal game for the Devils. He saved 2 goals single-handedly, and he has actually not been on the ice since game number 2. He took a much-needed day off and then did not practice yesterday or was part of the morning skate. Timo Meier throws it in front to Dumoulin, but he can't control it. Puck is still loose there. Meier whacks at it, but a good save there by Anderson. And that puck gets thrown all the way back down, and it'll be an icing here against Carolina. So again, the Devils with another solid opportunity right in front of Anderson, but could not get enough on it to get a clean shot. Dumoulin and Meier came together with a big hit on Jordan Martinook just moments ago. They kind of collided together. Then on the replay here again, Timo Meier, who he's going to have nightmares about that missed opportunity right at the end of game 2, where it looked like he had a wide open net, but the puck bounced over his stick. Otherwise, he might have tied game number 2 and gone to overtime, and who knows what could have happened. But now we're here in game number 3 with the Hurricanes up 2-0. Dumoulin one-hands it up to Kovacevic in the left corner. Now the Devils look to come the other way. Here comes Paul Cotter, and he'll dump it in, and it goes around the boards to the right side where Nason will get there first. Gets it over to Cotter. Cotter gets hit, but now Nason regains the puck. Nason gets it top of the point now to Pesce. Pesce with a shot, and that one goes to Anderson, but he makes the save. And we'll get another face-off. Devils already up to 6 shots on goal, while the Hurricanes still are looking for their first. So Devils with some good early pushing here, kind of a similar way that they started game number 2, in which they eventually ended up taking the 1-0 lead after one period of play. A little pushing and shoving there after that save from Cody Glass and Brent Burns. Cotter having a little bit of a discussion with Kelly Sutherland, the head referee here tonight. Arguably, Kelly Sutherland is probably the most liked ref in the NHL. I think he's the most respected because of how fair he normally is, especially as the head ref. But of course, I say that, and then something's going to happen tonight that I'm going to be really upset with and blame Sutherland for. Devils keep it in here. Brett Pesce still with it in the right corner. Pesce goes around the net, still with the puck, fighting along against Chatfield. Gets it to Palat for a moment. Puck bounces again. Pesce regains it. Now Palat has it in the left side. Palat being hounded here by Sebastian Aho, looking for some help, but Aho gets to it. He gets knocked down. No penalty here as that puck deflects up and out of play just a little under 5 minutes into this one. So a little bit of a slow pace in terms of just getting things going. But if you're Sheldon Keefe, you got to like so far, for the most part, how your team has come out. You've definitely dictated the pace a little bit more. You've gotten a couple of good shots. Haven't scored yet, but got to keep pushing here because I think opportunities are coming. I don't think there's any ref that's really liked even Sutherland. I mean, look, every NHL referee is going to have the ref you suck, going to have the dislike for sure. But I think Sutherland and Wes McCauley are probably the most tolerable of all of the refs in the NHL. That would be my assumption. As now Eric Halla comes away with a breakaway. He comes in with a shot, and he shot it wide. Oh my goodness. I don't know if Chatfield got a stick on it, but he tried to go. Halla tried to go there. Now feed in front to Mercer with a shot, and he shot it just wide again. Oh my goodness. 2 opportunities right there for the Devils, and they couldn't get it past Anderson. On that Halla opportunity, not sure if Chatfield got a stick on it to redirect it, but nonetheless, it gets denied. Halla trying to get around a defender, gets taken away by Nemec. Nemec dumps it off now to Palat. Palat lost the puck, and now the Hurricanes will control here. Is now up the left side to Carrier, and he'll dump it into the left corner. Dumoulin the first to get there for New Jersey. He flips it up to Hischier on a good pass. Hischier gets around one defender. He's at center ice. Try to get there. Feeds it over to Meier. Now to Palat. Hits off his skate into the right corner of Carolina. Both teams pushing for it in that right corner still. Walker and Palat fighting along with it. Now Hischier and Gostisbehere intercepted by Meier. Throws it on net to the side of the net. And that one is easily blocked away by Anderson. Gostisbehere now with it. He'll backhand it. Canes having some trouble here getting it out of their zone. Walker being hounded a bit by Timo Meier, but Gostisbehere will slow it up as now both teams will make a change. Just about 6.5 minutes into this one. Still no score here in game number 3. Shots are right now 5-0 in favor of New Jersey. Gostisbehere still behind his net as he is really taking his time with this puck. Finally makes a long feed, but it goes all the way down for an icing. So all of that time by Gots to spare behind his own net, and it ends up not even resulting in anything except an icing and a face-off back in the Hurricane zone. Showing a replay of the Eric Halla chance. It looks again like Halla just missed. Here's another replay. No, just a great play from Chatfield. He gets a stick on it to knock that puck away. Otherwise, Halla would have had a grade A opportunity to score. Face-off 1 year by the Devils. Pesce over the right side to Hamilton. Hamilton now to Bratt. Bratt gets around a defender. Lose the puck. Regains it. Feeds it in front. Puck bounces. Devils keeping it in. Hamilton with the backhand pass. Now into the right corner in the Carolina zone. Bratt gets to it. Bratt, top of the point to Hamilton. His shot just goes wide of Anderson. And Blake just whacks at it out of the zone. And a good hit there, but it's going to be a penalty against Dougie Hamilton. And it's going to be a tripping call against Hamilton. And the Hurricanes are going to get the game's first power play just a little over 7 minutes into this one. No score between the Devils and Hurricanes, but the Canes get their first crack on the power play. I have to be so blunt in telling you guys that I felt that was somewhat of a soft call. I mean, it did kind of look like a knee on knee, but to call it a trip there, I mean, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Stoffel said, I missed the first 2 games. I just upgraded my max plan 5 minutes ago to see this one. NHL makes it so difficult for cord cutters by not having center ice package anymore. Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right, Stoffel. Just things continue to get more and more difficult, with people just finding opportunities to watch these games, whether it's through a streaming service or even just on regular television. I'm glad that you're able to watch the game tonight and hang out with us as well. And Stoffel, like many Canes fans, still huge fans of Dougie Hamilton, despite him being on the other team. Good evening, Danelle. Good to see you as always, my friend. Hope you are doing well on this Friday evening. And as always, you already know, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Danelle says, BS penalty right there. Refs are a joke. Just saying, Danelle, it's kind of ironic because you've been talking about this, that the one thing that you haven't liked about Hurricanes fans is how much they complain about the ref. Yet you just complained about the ref right there. I just find that funny. I'm not trying to knock on you, but I just thought that was ironically funny. But again, if you're just tuning in, just a little over 7 minutes into the first period, Hurricanes are getting the first power play as Jarvis got knocked over by Dougie Hamilton. Didn't really look like a trip. Hamilton just kind of hit him, but Jarvis went down and the refs decided to give them a power play. So now we'll see what's going on. I've been waiting and watching for you, so I'm glad I caught up finally. Thank you so much, Stoffel. And again, good to see you, and we do appreciate you hanging out with me. I know what you're saying, Neil. Fair enough. So Nino saying Cleveland in the house. We got someone from Cleveland watching this game. Thank you so much, Nino. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. And make sure to leave a like if you haven't already. So the Hurricanes now beginning their first power play of the night, and the Devils win the first faceoff and immediately clear it. Devils penalty kill 5 for 6 so far in this series, with the one power play goal coming back in game number 1 from Logan Stankoven. Is now Aho up the center of the ice as he looks to set up, feeds it to Svechnikov. Svechnikov tries to feed it to a streaking Jarvis, but he missed them and the puck goes all the way back in the Carolina zone. Goss to spare now with it up the center of the ice, flips it to the right side, but it gets broken up here by Eric Halla. Halla will get it to Dumoulin, and Dumoulin will clear it down where Anderson will have to play it. So just 40 seconds into this power play, and Hurricanes struggling to just set up. Hurricanes slowly making their way back up center of the ice. Aho, now to Jarvis. Right side now to Stankoven. Tries to make a feed there, gets broken up. Jesper Bratt trying to get there first, but a good play there by Jarvis, and we get a hand pass of some sorts. That's an interesting call, but a stoppage of play. 1:03 to go on the Canes power play. 11:53 to go in this first period. I am watching this game now on MSGSN. When I have the opportunity to watch on the Devils feed, that's when I'm going to watch 9 times out of 10. Unless the Devils get to the second round, which if that's the case, then obviously I'll be forced to watch it either on TNT or ESPN. But I am watching it on MSGSN for this one. Faceoff was at center ice and won by the Devils, and Dumoulin will kill off some clock and dump it back into the Carolina zone with 53 seconds to go on this power play. Brent Burns slowly making his way, gets it to Kotkaniemi. Kotkaniemi dumps it into the right corner. Roslovic gets there first, tries to chip it up the boards. Roslovic gets to it again, and he'll wrap it around the boards all the way to the other side, but it goes out of the zone, and the Canes will have to restart again, as now we're approaching the final 30 seconds of this man advantage. Kotkaniemi gets the puck knocked off him by Kovacevic, regains it and dumps it around the boards to the right side. Roslovic now, right side. Fighting along with Holland, Kovacevic. Puck comes loose, and Bratt will get to it. He'll kill some clock, and he'll dump it into the right corner where Anderson will lightly touch it with 10 seconds to go on this Hurricanes power play. As now Burns, left side now to Taylor Hall, center of the ice. Drops it to Stankoven, now to Taylor Hall. Back to Stankoven with a shot and a big-time save by Markstrom, and the Devils are able to kill it off. So right at the end, the Hurricanes get their best chance on a couple of good feeds from Taylor Hall to Stankoven, but Stankoven gets denied by Markstrom, and it remains a scoreless hockey game, and the Canes are 0 for 1 on the power play. As Orlov will backhand it into the left corner. Markstrom will play it, chips it over now to Dumoulin. Now puck's intercepted, comes back out in front, but it gets blocked. Justin Dowling tries it, he turns it over. Hurricanes with a shot, and that one gets stopped and covered by Markstrom off Carrier with 10:22 to go in this first period. But overall, other than that last chance right at the end of the power play, a really strong first wave of the penalty kill for the Devils. Many clears, not much going on except that last chance, but a big save from Jacob Markstrom. And then again, Carrier just moments ago with a shot right in the slot, but it goes right into the breadbasket of Jacob Markstrom. Face off to the left here of Markstrom in the Devils zone. And it comes back to Markstrom, who will lightly play it to Nate Bastian, and Bastian will flip it out. Tatar, now over to Nemec. Shimon Nemec with a shot. That one is stopped, and then he gets a cover by Freddie Anderson with 10:11 to go in this first. Quick score update. The Montreal Canadiens have just taken the lead in the second period, 11:19 to go on Nick Suzuki's second goal of the night. So, Capitals took the 1-0 lead, but the Habs have scored the last two and now have the lead here just almost midway through that game number 3 of that series. Hits right now 7-4 in favor of Carolina. Nemec fighting along with Jordan Martinook. That puck comes out in front and nearly trickled past Markstrom. It's not played with a high stick, surprisingly. So we'll play on here as the puck is still in the Devils zone. Siegenthaler makes a long pass out to center ice, where Tatar will get to it for New Jersey. Tatar, he'll flip it into the right corner, and that actually hit the mesh, so we'll get a stoppage of play with 9:42 to go in this first period. Still no score. But that was a weird situation where that puck came from the left corner in the Devils zone and popped up right in front of Markstrom. Markstrom wanted a high stick, that it was touched with a high stick, but the ref said no and they played on. But fortunately for him and for the Devils, nothing happened there. So far, it started with the Devils just kind of creating some good opportunities. But again, Anderson continuing to have such a strong playoff in net for Carolina. And then the Hurricanes, the last couple of minutes, have had some good opportunities. I would say out of all the chances for either team, that shot by Logan Stankoven was the best that either team has had, because it was just point blank with a great shot, but just a better right shoulder save by Jacob Markstrom there to deny Stankoven of getting that goal. Stankoven, who came over in that trade for Mikko Rantanen the trade deadline, had 2 of the 3 goals in game number 1's win for the Hurricanes over the Devils, including the lone power play goal that the Hurricanes have so far in this series. But we'll see here if the Devils can use that kill to get some momentum here. They desperately need to get that first goal. I think you need to get the crowd into it. I think you need to just find a way to get them going, right? And that's really the big thing that we have here in this, is that with the Devils now being at home, you want to try to get the crowd back into it and get your confidence going. And the Devils came out of game number 2 feeling much more confident about their game than they did when they started the series, which is a good thing. As for Carolina, again, there isn't much you really need to change, right? You've played so well in the first two games. You've locked it down defensively when you needed to. You've gotten good goaltending from Freddie Anderson. Like, you just got to keep playing your game and hope that the Devils don't start solving some openings. Stanley Cup playoffs so far this year. So far in these Stanley Cup playoffs, the home teams are 14-6. So the home team has certainly been the favorites and the victors in a lot of these games. As all that could have been a near breakaway there for Carolina, but it got broken up by Pesce. Brett Pesce will dump it into the right corner, but that's going to be enough for an icing here against the Devils. Brett Pesce, one of a handful of former Carolina Hurricanes now playing for the Devils. You have Pesce, Dougie Hamilton, you have Eric Hall, you have Stefan Noesen as well. You have a bunch of guys. Nico Hischier has won 31 of his 52 faceoffs so far in the series. That's tied for 5th in faceoff wins in the NHL in this playoff. So he's been very strong for the most part in the faceoff dot, and he wins another one there as Dougie Hamilton will flip it back out of their zone. Hamilton will slow it up here in the New Jersey end. And he'll dump it out, give it over to Timo Meier. Makes a feed that just gets out of the reach of Nico Hischier. And now the Hurricanes will control here. Sebastian Aho comes the other way. Aho, left side now to Orlov, who will dump it into the left corner. Pesce and Aho fighting for it here. Puck is behind the net. Aho with it. Get to top of the point to Chatfield with a drive, and that one gets deflected up and out of play. 19.2 miles per hour was that shot. Chatfield had the first goal of this entire series as he scored less than 3 minutes into game number 1 in the Hurricanes' dominant 4-1 win in that one. 8:56 to go in this first period. Still no score here between the Hurricanes and Devils. The far referee talking to the head referee. Capitals just tied the game against the Habs. Jacob Chychrun with the goal. Shots currently 23-12 in favor of Montreal, but the Capitals have tied it. Now Cotter will dump it back into the Carolina zone. Taylor Hall trying to get it out, but he cannot. Slavin has to go back and play it. And Slavin will bounce it off the boards and just out before Noesen can keep it in. Now Svechnikov drops it off now to Kotkaniemi. Kotkaniemi backhands it around to the left side to Taylor Hall. Hall drops it to Slavin with a shot, and that one's sticked away by Markstrom and out of play with 8:22 to go in this first. Jacob Slavin, arguably the best defensive defenseman in the NHL. I think he still is vastly underrated for how good he is, how stable he's been his entire career. And I think a lot more people got to see him, really showcase his ability on the world stage at the Four Nations face-off for Team USA. He was tremendous on the back end there, and he's continued to be tremendous for Carolina to this very day. Face-off to the right here of Jacob Markstrom in the New Jersey zone. And face-off one here by the Devils where Siegenthaler tries to backhand it, intercepted by Stankoven. Stankoven almost turned it over. And now Siegenthaler, Chatfield whacking at it, but it goes into the Devils bench. And now Chatfield and Siegenthaler with some pleasantries here, right near the boards, near the Devils bench. Siegenthaler, I'm sure, is pumped to be back in the lineup and being able to play here in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's huge, absolutely huge for them, especially, again, considering you don't have Brendan Dillon and Luke Hughes here for game number 3. Jesper Bratt is the only Devil that has registered a point in the first 2 games of this series. He'll look to try to make it 3 straight if he can get a point of some sort here tonight in this one. Face off to the left of Jacob Markstrom in the Devil's zone with 8:12 to go in this first. Face-off one here by New Jersey is now Siegenthaler backhands it over now to Bratt. Bratt makes a long feed just out of the reach of Dawson Mercer. That puck bounces again back into the Carolina zone, but Gostisbehere now will play it over to Stahl, and he'll backhand it where Nemec will control it now. Siegenthaler off the stick of Mercer goes into the right corner. No icing here. Bounce it around the boards. Trying to get some pressure, and that puck goes back into New Jersey zone where Nemec, with a nice play on the backhand to Mercer. Now the Devils look to come the other way. Nemec up the center of the ice, but lost the puck. Regains it in the offensive zone. Nemec now with it. He'll backhand it to the left side to Tatar. Tatar fighting along with Aho there. Tatar tried to feed it over to Bratt, gets broken up, and Gostisbehere is able to just get it out of the zone. Now Aho the other way for Carolina. Aho now over to Jarvis. Jarvis, left corner now, stops, waits, gets it over to Orlov, who will now feed it over to the left side now, gets over to Blake. Now drive by Aho, and that one is stopped by Markstrom. Puck bounces up in the air, it's loose, but Markstrom will wisely cover it here. And Kovacevic and Jarvis with some pushing and shoving against the boards after the whistle there. It's literally every single stoppage in play you get pushing and shoving, and do we have both guys going to the box here? Have the refs decided that enough is enough? I think we're getting 4-on-4. Kovacevic goes to the box for New Jersey, and Seth Jarvis will go to the sin bin for Carolina. So we will skate 4 aside, I assume, here for the next 2 minutes. I think the refs just got sick and tired of this pushing and shoving. Great save moments ago by Markstrom, point blank, on a shot from Sebastian Aho. And both guys got their face washed with each other's gloves on that one, meaning Jarvis and Kovacevic. So we will skate 4 aside here. That could be an advantage to the Devils. They've scored 4-on-4. Back in the first game of this series, Nico Hischier scored the lone goal for New Jersey on a 4-on-4. Faceoff will be to the right of Jacob Markstrom in the New Jersey zone. 7:10 to go in this first. And the faceoff won here by the Devils. Both Jarvis and Kovacevic get 2 minutes each for roughing. Dougie Hamilton up the center of the ice. Hamilton with the puck. Tries to drop it off to Hischier. Gets broken up by Orlov. And Dmitry Orlov will slow it up here for Carolina behind his own net. And he'll flip it up to Stankoven. And here come the Hurricanes the other way. Stankoven with a lot of speed up the right side. Stankoven takes a shot, and that one fought off by Markstrom. Orlov bounces around the boards to the other side. Chatfield back the other way. Gets stick lifted for a moment. Puck is bouncing still, and now Dumoulin will control it for New Jersey, and he'll get it over to Hamilton. Shot 6-3 right now in favor of New Jersey. About 1:15 to go on this 4-on-4. 6:23 to go in this first. Still no score. Mercer drops it now off to Bratt. Bratt drops it back off to Mercer. Mercer back to Bratt. Gets it over now to Pesce. Pesce tries to get around a defender. One-hands it, or tried to one-hand it, gets broken up, and now Blake will come the other way, drops it off to Burns, as here come the Hurricanes. And now it gets broken up, and Pesce will slow it up for the Devils. Siegenthaler, he gets knocked down. Fans want a penalty there, but they're not going to get it. Siegenthaler slows it up, drops it to Cotter. Cotter coming up the right side. Cotter now, he looks, tries, takes a shot. That one is stopped by Anderson. He tried to surprise him there, but Anderson makes the save. Glass gets it over to Dumoulin. Brian Dumoulin back to Cody Glass. Glass beats over to Hamilton. Deflected shot just goes wide. Oh, as Cotter had an opening there. Glass gets knocked down. Again, fans want a penalty, but it looks like they're not going to get it. Slavin kicks the puck with his skate over to Taylor Hall, and Hall will slow it up here as we're down to the final couple seconds of this 4-on-4. Svechnikov, he'll slow it up again, goes back into the Carolina zone, being hounded a bit by Timo Meier. Svechnikov now gets into the offensive zone, but we get an icing here. 4-on-4 is up, and we get a stoppage in play with 5:07 to go in this first. Still no score here in Game 3 between the Hurricanes and the Devils. Just moments ago, a great opportunity there by the Devils. It was kind of a tic-tac-toe almost. You had Cody Glass feeding it to a streaking Dougie Hamilton who was crashing the net, and then he was able to get it to Cotter, who was open on that side, but he just couldn't get enough on his stick to knock that one in. That would have been a big-time goal here, but overall, I think both teams have kind of settled in a little bit more of late, and now we're getting a little bit more end-to-end action here as we hit into the final 5 minutes, or excuse me, less than 5 minutes of this first period. Again, just kind of updating everybody in case they have been watching the other game. The Canadiens and Capitals are tied at 2 in the second period. The most recent goal came from Jacob Chychrun of Washington. Capitals got the first goal. Habs got the next 2. And then Chychrun just tied it for Washington moments ago. And that is still the score in that one right now. If you still haven't yet, you still have some time to leave a score prediction in the chat here before the end of this first period. We've already got a couple so far. Andrew H gave one, PJ Jones gave another, and then I gave one. And again, you still have some time to give one here. And make sure to interact in the chat if you haven't already. Devils looking to try to get back in this series after 2 differing type of results that both ended in losses in games 1 and 2. They got absolutely blown out and overwhelmed in game number 1, but put up a much better effort in game 2, but came up just short. Game of inches, really. You know, it really just was a game of inches. Who knows what could have happened if the Devils had forced overtime there. Face off right in front of the Devils bench as we're back to play here with exactly 5 minutes to go in this first period. Puck dumped back into the Devils zone where Markstrom will play it to the right side up to Cody Glass. Glass feeds it over to the right side to Nason. Nason now to the right corner and back behind the net now is Glass and Burns fighting along with it. Hurricanes will get to it and they'll take some time and Carrier will dump it out. Siegenthaler off the boards, but it's intercepted by Carrier who will flip it back into the New Jersey zone. Markstrom will calmly backhand it over the left side now to Nason. And now it slowly makes its way to Siegenthaler to the right side. And that puck comes just out of the New Jersey zone. Roslovic and Cotter fighting along near the benches. And now Siegenthaler will slow it up for New Jersey. Hischier now up the center of the ice. He'll dump it into the right corner where Anderson will play it calmly into the left side. Timo Meier tried to intercept, but Stahl gets to it and he'll flip it out. A lot of dump and chase that we've seen in this game between these two teams who play somewhat similar defensive styles, not allowing a lot of carrying the puck in, forcing a lot of dump and chase, which we're seeing. Now the Devils look to come the other way. Timo Meier feeds it over to Hischier. Hischier with a shot, and he scores! Nico Hischier! And the Devils have taken the 1-0 lead here in the first period. They strike first. It's the captain, Nico Hischier, on a great feed from Timo Meier, and that puck slowly got off of Hischier's forehand, but it got past Anderson nonetheless. And for the second time in this series, the Devils have scored first. Palat got it to Timo, and then Timo with a great feed to Hischier, went from his backhand to his forehand, got Anderson down on his stomach, and just sneaked one past his left side. What a goal there from Nico Hischier, a much-needed goal. And the Devils take the 1-0 lead. I promise you this will update. The scoreboard will update in just a moment. That was indeed a nice shot from the captain. His 4th career playoff goal, his 2nd of this series. And the Devils grab the all-important 1-0 lead with 3:40 to go in this first period. Devils score first, and which they needed. They needed it for sure. They needed it for sure. I really wish that this would update. I really wish that this scoreboard, which usually works well, would update itself. Because right now it's not. And it's kind of a pain in the rear end. And finally, now we've had it updated, which is great. Thank you. Sorry about that. That puck is loose in the New Jersey zone, but Hall will flip it out. Jesper Bratt chasing now with Goss to spare back in the Carolina zone. That's exactly the type of goal that you need right now. But again, the Devils have been able to score in this series, but they haven't scored more than one goal. So getting that second goal will be just as important as the Devils getting that first. Now Jarvis dumps it back in. Shots 8-3 now in favor of the Devils, and they have the 1-0 lead on a recent goal just moments ago from Nico Hischier. As now that puck is out at center ice, intercepted. Palat in the offensive zone. Palat waits, gets it to Kovacevic, tries to feed it back to Palat, but it gets broken up. And that hits off a Dowling, and now the Hurricanes look to try to get the other way. Blake over now. Puck bounces behind the net in the New Jersey zone. Carolina with a good forecheck here. Backhands it in front, nobody home. Jarvis, now to Svechnikov. Now to Blake. Blake with it now, trying to get around Palat. He loses the puck. Palat and Blake fighting for it on the right side. Now Nemec gets in on the action, and so does Jarvis. Fans liking this here as we've reached the final 2 minutes of this first period. Puck now right behind the net where Nemec will get to it. He'll bounce it one up off the boards. It goes all the way down, and it'll be an icing here against the Devils with 1:50 to go in this first. Again, this was huge, absolutely huge if you are the Devils. You're at home, you need a big boost, and you get one there from your captain to get the early lead. I should mention, by the way, that including the season series and the regular season, the home team won all 4 games. So the road team is still yet to win a game between these two teams all year. So it just goes to show you how important it is for these teams to be in their home ice. As that shot there through traffic is gloved easily by Markstrom. Then Nemec and Carrier with a little pushing and shoving after the whistle. As I mentioned before, and Danelle's absolutely right, Devils got to find a way to score more than one goal in this game if they want to have any chance to win. Obviously, yes, they can win a game 1-0, but you don't want to bank on that, right? You don't want to bank on scoring the only goal in the first period and then not being able to build upon that lead. You got to find ways to score more than once here, and you got to separate yourselves in this game from Carolina. Devils win the faceoff in their own zone where Bratt will now control it for the Devils. Bratt coming up center of the ice. Bratt dekes around one defender and flips it to the left side where Mercer tried to get to it first. And now the Hurricanes break it up and go the other way. 90 seconds to go in this first period. Markstrom slows up the puck and he'll just aggressively backhand it where it's taken away by Carolina for a moment. Roslovic gets hit. Siegenthaler now off the boards, over to Haula, and a nice feed there to Mercer, who will now come up the other way. Mercer the right side. Mercer with it, takes a slow shot that gets deflected by Hall, and Anderson easily sticks it away. Taylor Hall gets around one defender here as we're into the final minute of the period. Taylor Hall, he gets crunched and leveled by Andre Palat right there in the slot, and Palat will flip it out of the zone. What a hit there from the two-time Stanley Cup winning veteran. Icing here against New Jersey again with 48.4 to go. So the Devils kind of laying the body a little bit more here in this game, feeding off the crowd. And Taylor Hall with a little bit of a welcome back to New Jersey hit there. Good, solid hit, clean hit by number 18 of New Jersey. He was able to somewhat get around Pesci, but then he left himself exposed to Andre Palat, who Palat doesn't really lay the body like that. So it's actually kind of exciting to see someone unlikely make a play like that. Fans definitely liked that one for sure. And now Palat's looking at his tablet on the bench. Maybe he wants to get a second look at that hit. Devils win the faceoff at center ice. Devils have won 15 of the 26 faceoffs so far tonight. Faceoff wins are 15-11 to be specific in favor of New Jersey. Taylor Hall back into the offensive zone here with 30 seconds to go in the period. Svechnikov in the left quarter fighting along with Mercer. Stefan Nason, now it's taken by Slavin. Slavin with a shot that goes wide of Markstrom. Comes out to the other side where Cotter tries to flip it out. He cannot. Taylor Hall with it now. Hall lose the puck for a moment. Svechnikov lost it also. Cotter trying to get it out, but he cannot. Svechnikov tries to feed it in front, no one home except Nason, who will flip it out of the zone. 5 seconds to go in the period. 3 seconds, 2 and 1, and that'll do it for the first 20 minutes of play. So the Devils find a way as Nason took a shot and that ended up in the back of the net. It's not going to count as the horn sounded, and the Hurricanes did not like that at all. They did not like that at all, and I understand it. That was a nice ping pong hit by Andre Palat there. But again, that is the end of this first period. Devils with the 1-0 lead thanks to a goal from their captain, his second of this series, Nico Hischier. And again, that is the exact type of goal and momentum swing that you need. And now let's see if the Devils can build upon it. But before we get into that and a lot more in our intermission report, we're going to step aside for a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and you guys will get some words from our sponsor.
Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time.
And welcome everybody here to our first intermission report of our game 3 of this Eastern Conference first round matchup between the Carolina Hurricanes and the New Jersey Devils. And after one period of play, it is the Devils who have the lead thanks to a late goal in that first, courtesy of the Devils captain Nico Hischier. And that is so far the difference in this one here, as the Montreal Canadiens have taken the lead late in that second period against the Capitals. Cole Caulfield, or better yet, Score Caulfield, gets a goal, and that gives the Habs a 3-2 lead that they now have at the end of two periods. Again, the Habs looking to try to cut that series deficit to 2-1, just like the Devils here, who have that lead. Gaza is a little late to the party, but it's all good. He's going to go with a Devils 4-3 win in overtime. He continues to pick the Devils over the Hurricanes, which I'm shocked about. Stoffel's going to say that the Canes come back and win this game 2-1. Fair enough. What's going on, Andrew? Good to see you as always, my friend. Andrew B, to be exact. How are you doing? Good evening, and thank you for hanging out with us as always. Again, I'll just show it one more time. 1-0 Devils after one. So I think overall, let's quickly look at how both teams kind of played in this first period. So I thought the Devils kind of came out and really dictated the pace early on. Got a couple of really good shots, put that pressure, got going on the forecheck. It was exactly what they needed. As the period went on, the Hurricanes got the first power play, had a couple of decent opportunities. Stankoven with a really good shot in the slot, but Jacob Markstrom was strong and did not allow the Hurricanes to cash in. And then eventually the Devils rewarded him with, call it a lucky goal, call it what you want. Nonetheless, it is a goal indeed from Nico Hischier that gave the Devils the 1-0 lead. And again, that's where we stand after 20 minutes of play. So again, you have to like what you saw from the Devils for the most part in that first period. Should also mention really quickly that Cody Glass, at some point, I don't remember when exactly, but it appeared that he had gotten hurt because he was not on the bench for the last couple of minutes of that period. So something to keep an eye on here as we get to the beginning of this second period. Kind of interesting to see. I mean, again, Cody Glass got hurt late in the third period, third period of game number one on that infamous where Markstrom tried to slash Svechnikov and ended up injuring Cody Glass. Glass didn't return to that game, but played the entirety of game number two, and obviously started off playing this game here in game number three. I don't know if it's the same type of issue, if it's something different. Nonetheless, Cody Glass, at least at the moment, is not right now on the ice, but we will see if he does make a return at some point. Really quickly, I know I did this the last stream I did, but I once again want to shout out my good friends and sponsor of the Devil's State of Mind podcast, Tom's River Brewing, who now have this Raise Hell Lager. Raise Hell is the big slogan for the Devils throughout this playoffs. I got the Raise Hell sweatshirt going on. I got my Raise Hell Lager right here. It's actually fantastic. And you got Tom's River Brewing Devil's Brew, which is awesome. If you have the opportunity to, whether you're in New Jersey or you get an opportunity to come by, make sure to go get a can of Stick Toss or Raise Hell from Tom's River Brewing and tell them that Neil Villapiano sent you. But I wanted to quickly shout out Sarah, Hopper, and all the lovely people over at Tom's River Brewing for the great job that they do here with not only Raise Hell, but Stick Toss and all of the beers that they make at Tom's River Brewing. So shout out to them here, and cheers to you guys. It's the only one I'm having tonight. Can't have too much while I'm doing this broadcast. Just about 5 minutes to go here before this second period gets underway. Again, there is one more game after ours tonight. Again, with just a quick reminder, 3-2 Canadiens after 2 periods of play. In that game number 3, Cole Caulfield with the most recent goal scored with 9 seconds to go in that second period. So a big goal, hopefully a momentum goal. Again, Habs win. They cut the deficit of that series to 2-1. But if the Capitals win, Capitals have a commanding 3-0 series lead in that one. And again, for the Devils, pretty much identical to the Habs. Devils win, It's a 2-1 series lead for Carolina. Hurricanes win. They go up 3-0 with a chance to sweep on Sunday. So we shall see if what happens there. But then one last game that's coming up in a little over an hour from now between the Oilers and Kings. That's game number 3. Kings with 2 wins at home, a dominant win in game number 2 to be exact. And now they come into Edmonton looking to try to take that 3-0 series lead. As mentioned, as the stream started, Calvin Pickard will start for the Edmonton Oilers over Stuart Skinner after Skinner had 2 terrible, and I mean terrible and brutal, first 2 games of that series against the Kings. So we'll see if the Oilers can avoid going down 3-0. Gaza says, don't drink and broadcast. I do it all the time. I only have one, though. I only have one. I'm not gonna go crazy here at all. Stoffel with the broom emoji. Not sure which series he's referring to. I would imagine maybe he's hoping it's this series that he's talking about between the Devils and Hurricanes. But right now, Devils do have that important 1-0 lead, but you got to build upon it, right? You got to keep playing the way you've been playing. Keep taking on that momentum that you have from the crowd and just keep pushing here and try to find a way to get this going in this one. Stoffel said, Habs, ? Oh, fair enough. So you talk about the Habs? Well, we'll see. Again, they're up 3-2 going into that third period. So we'll see if they can hold on here. Apparently, Tom Wilson and Anderson got into a fight, into empty bench amid Habs cap scuffle at the end of the second. So apparently there was just absolute mayhem at the end of that second period. So that's what happens, right? That's what happens in the Stanley Cup playoffs, man. Just a lot of, as I call them, pleasantries. A lot of things where it's just like, like these two teams don't like each other. They're fighting for, trying to win in this, in these playoffs, man. And it's a bloodbath out there. I kid, love my Devils brothers. Stoffel, as always, man, really, really do appreciate you. All right, I'm going to step aside for one more moment here to get another quick break. But when we come back, the second period of our game between the Hurricanes and Devils will get underway.
Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time.
And welcome everybody here as we are back and getting ready to get this second period underway. Game 3 of this Eastern Conference first round matchup between the Hurricanes and the Devils. Devils again with the 1-0 lead heading into this period thanks to a late goal in that first from the captain Nico Hischier. And that was a big time goal. And now we'll see if the Devils can build upon that here again. They've been able to score in this series, but they haven't been able to score more than one goal. They lost 4-1 in game 1 and lost 3-1 in game 2. Getting that second goal is a big step for this team if they want to get back in this series for sure. Just answering a message real quick. Shots were 8-4 in that period in favor of the Devils. Hits were 15-10 in favor of the Devils, and face-off wins were 15-11 in favor of the Devils. And obviously the score was 1-0 Devils. So the Devils really, that was their period. But now can they continue it here in this second? Cody Glass, I mentioned to you that he left the bench early. It did not return to that first period. He is back on the Devils bench, kind of focused in here. And so he's back there, which is good. And here we go. As the second period is now underway in this one, is Nico Hischier trying to get around Jordan Staal. And now Stankoven takes it the other way for Carolina. Orlov, he'll dump it in where it goes into the left corner. Dumoulin chips it up to Timo Meier, now to Palat. Palat had a big-time hit on Taylor Hall late in that first period, which definitely got the crowd going a bit because you don't see that very often from a guy like Palat. Rainier Anderson touches it up and leaves it for Orlov here as the Canes look to reset. Chatfield comes up the right side. Chatfield around the boards. Now to the left side here. Left corner now in the Devils' own. Siegenthaler intercepted by Carolina. That shot by Martin Nook is fought off by Markstrom. Haula flips it up the right side to Siegenthaler, who will chip it out. And it goes back into the Carolina zone, where Slavin will calmly play it out. Jarvis tried to drop it off. It's intercepted by the Devils. They look to come the other way. Brad, now to Mercer. Mercer tried to make a feed over to Hall, just out of his reach. Hurricanes looking to come the other way with numbers. Blake with it. Blake with a shot that gets blocked. Blake gets it back. Backhand try stop. Rebound try is snuffed out by Markstrom, and he covers. Blake with 2 point-blank opportunities there, but Markstrom denies him both and keeps the Canes off the scoreboard. Big-time saves there from Markstrom as he continues to be a strong factor for the Devils so far defensively. Just a weird bounce where both Siegenthaler and Dumoulin didn't see it. Blake got to it first. He got one shot off and then almost surprised Markstrom, who had the 5-hole open a little bit, but Markstrom was able to cover it up and not give up that goal. Gostisbehere now wins it for Carolina in the right corner in the Devils zone. Kotkaniemi now to Walker with a shot that gets deflected wide of Markstrom, and the Canes will dump it back in. Shots now 8-7 in favor of New Jersey as Markstrom knocking someone over here. As that puck comes out in front. Rebound try is stopped. Puck is loose, but the Devils are able to recover it. Puck comes out to the slot there. It gets blocked. As now the Hurricanes putting on some good pressure here. Svechnikov in the right corner. Svechnikov top of the point. Walker with a shot that gets blocked. Gostisbehere with a follow-up try goes wide of Markstrom. Now back to Walker, top of the point. Now to Gostisbehere. Kotkaniemi throws it in front, but it gets blocked, and the Devils will finally control it. So the Hurricanes putting on a really good effort here in the early going to the second period, but Markstrom is able to deny the Canes several times of tying this game. Nemec still waiting here. Again, second time tonight we've had this. Now finally gets to it, leaves it for Palat, and that gets taken away by Carolina. And Chatfield will slow it up. 4-0 are the second period shots in favor of Carolina here in the early goings. Puck on the right side now where Chatfield and Dumoulin are fighting for it. Robinson and Nemec as well. Roslovic wraps it around, gets it top of the point to Orlov. Orlov with a shot, gets blocked. Rebound try by Hall is stopped by Markstrom. Now Canes with it again. Orlov with a Robinson. Robinson loses it, and Timo Meier being pinned along the boards by Roslovic and Robinson. Nemec and Hischier there as well to try to help out Timo. Just a little over 3 minutes into this period. Orlov now controls it for Carolina. Orlov gets it over to Chatfield. Chatfield shot gets blocked over to the left side. Canes still able to keep it in. Puck behind the net now, where Robinson tries to feed it in front of the Hall, gets broken up. Dumoulin gets to it, chips it over to Timo Meier, and he'll bank it off the boards and out. And it won't be enough for an icing, so the Devils will be able to actually make a change. Now the Canes come in, might be a 2-on-1. They come in with opportunity. Penalty coming up here against the Devils. Canes still with control of the puck here. Stahl drew that penalty. Dowling will touch it up. And the Hurricanes will get their second power play of the night here in this one. And I'm going to see who it is. Wasn't exactly sure who they called it on. But the Hurricanes got the Devils in a little bit of a change. Almost had a 2-on-1. And then Jordan Stahl was slowed up there a little bit. Moments ago, Svechnikov kind of fell right into Markstrom and nearly turned into an empty net opportunity for Carolina. Not sure how that wasn't a penalty. But nonetheless, we play on. But it is a penalty against the Devils here. I believe they're going to call a hook. Let me see it again. And I think it's going to be against Siegenthaler. Let me see it again here. So they are going to call Siegenthaler on a hooking call here. So the Devils will go to the second kill of the night. Sheldon Keefe, not a huge fan of that call. Now let's see what the Canes could do. They were 0 for 1 on the power play. They really struggled in that first one. We'll see if this one's any better. Jarvis now sets it up for Carolina. Jarvis with a shot, deflected just wide. Svechnikov behind the net. Left side now to Aho. Top of the point now to Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere now top to Aho. Aho tried to get it to Gostisbehere, but Haula intercepts, and he'll dump it out. He goes all the way back down. Aho and Bratt chasing after it, and Bratt's the one that wins that battle. Bratt gets knocked down. Looked like he might have gotten a stick to the face. The refs didn't see it, and we play on here. Blake drops it off to Jarvis. Now over to Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere slows it up and looks to set up. And he gets it over now all the way to Jarvis. Now to Svechnikov. Now to Aho. Gostisbehere top point. Back over to Aho right side. Aho with a lot of space. Gets to Svechnikov. Back to Aho. Aho top of the point to Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere with it. Now to Jarvis. Jarvis now feeding over to Stankoven. Back to Jarvis now. Jarvis with it. Takes a wrist shot. Gets blocked by Hischier and comes out of the zone. Good block there by the Devils captain as Jarvis has to go back and reset with 50 seconds to go on the power play. Jarvis back into the zone where Blake gets to it. Blake around the boards here. Intercepted by Pesce. Gets it over now to Haula. Back to Pesce, who will slow it up. Tries to clear it. Almost couldn't get it out. Now he can't get it out. Jarvis keeps it in for Carolina. Jarvis in the right corner gets hounded by Mercer. Puck rounds to the other side now where Carolina will reset. Hall. Now back to Hall. Top of the point now to Birds. Back to Hall left side. Taylor Hall with it. Waits. Gets it now with a Stankoven. Backhand try there. Gets fought up by Markstrom with 20 seconds to go on the power play. Top of the point now to Burns. Left side to Taylor Hall. Hall with it. Over to Aho with a shot that goes wide of Markstrom and goes all the way out slowly out of the zone. Taylor Hall around a defender. He comes in. Hall with it. Behind the net now. Power play is up for Carolina. Hall feeding it to Stahl. Puck comes out in front. Dumoulin intercepts, and he'll just waste some time and flip it out. So the Devils' penalty kill continuing to be strong here. They are now 2 for 2. Hurricanes with some better chances. And now Martinook comes in with some space. Martinook feeds it in front, but it goes wide of Markstrom. Nason tries to clear it. He can't get it out, but it comes out of the zone anyway, where Nemec will get to it, and he'll flip it to Anderson, who will touch it up. Now Stahl gets it, and he'll bank it off the boards. Late offsides here against the Devils. Second period shots now 6-0 in favor of Carolina. Clearly, Hurricanes have been a lot better as that shot deflected just wide. Devils got to find a way to turn the tide here and turn some momentum back on their side. Still holding on to that 1-0 lead. Carrier and Nason fighting along in the Carolina zone. Tatar, some good forechecking here as the Devils trying to get to that puck. Puck bounces out back into the Devils zone where Markstrom's going to play it and get it up to Siegenthaler, who will now feed up to Dowling. Dowling left side now to Tatar. Tatar tries to feed it to a streaking Bastian, but it gets deflected away by Chatfield, and now the Canes come the other way. Svechnikov dumps it off left side. Feeds it in front there and just wide of Markstrom. Both teams some end-to-end action right now. Svechnikov with the puck. He loses it, but gets it back to Chatfield. That shot gets blocked, but it stays in the Devils zone. That shot there is stopped. Puck is loose. Devils are trying to get it out here. Carolina controls, still with it now. Svechnikov, top point now to Chatfield. Left side over to Orlov with a shot, and that one is stopped and covered by Jacob Markstrom. End-to-end action here, but the Devils still hold on to the 1-0 lead with 12:34 remaining in this second period. So the level of excitement, the level of energy and intensity has certainly picked up here in this second period. Carolina, very similar to what we saw in game number 2, right? They came out in this period and they have dictated so much. They put a lot of shots on Markstrom. They've been very, very aggressive. They've had an opportunity on the power play again, couldn't score, and they're still trailing by a goal, but those opportunities are coming. Good to see you again, Andrew B. Thank you for hanging out with me. And thanks to everybody who's hanging out with this one. Dubs is in the net for Montreal. I'm assuming you're talking about Montembeault. I'm assuming Montembeault. That's my guess. That is my guess. But good. But some really good opportunities. You got to give Carolina credit. I don't know. And if anybody, I mean, I know Stoffel's here, so maybe he can elaborate on this a little bit more. But for anybody who maybe has watched the Hurricanes a lot more than I have, are the Hurricanes usually a second period team? Because in this series, it just looks like that every second period, this is where they pick up their game. This is where they come out offensively with a barrage of shots and they put a lot of pressure on the opposing team. Like that, that's what I feel like I'm seeing. And I'm seeing again here in this second period. No wine tonight, Andrew B, but I do have my Raise Hell Lager, courtesy of my friends over at Tom's River Brewing. Make sure, again, if you're in the area, to get yourself a can of this. You won't regret it. It is absolutely tremendous. It is the perfect lager for any Devils fan and hockey fan as well. It's absolutely spectacular. But names so far. John Caverubius, I hope I said your last name right. He said, yes, I heard a stat of them being a good second period stat the other day. All right, fair enough. Now here comes Timo Meier. Stops, feeds it in front to Palat. That puck just goes wide. I think Anderson might have gotten a piece of it. Palat inches away from doubling the lead there. What a chance. And then a big time hit there on Blake. Now the Canes get to it. That shot there is fumbled a bit by Markstrom, but it gets cleared away. Andre Palat now takes it out of the zone here and into Carolina's zone. Drops off to Hischier. Hischier feeds it right side to Hamilton. Hamilton feeds it. That one deflected just wide by Timo Meier. Now the Canes with a lot of space will come the other way. Seth Jarvis. Here he comes. Drops it off to Aho. Aho stops. Waits for reinforcements. Gets it over to Orlov. Fakes the slap shot. And he'll dump it to the left corner. Dougie Hamilton and Jarvis fighting alone with it. Jarvis gets that. Feeds it in front to Stahl, but couldn't control it. Good play by Mercer. And now the Devils come the other way with speed. Dumoulin trying to get around Orlov. He gets knocked down, and we have a penalty. So it's going to be an interference call against Dmitry Orlov, and the Devils, for the first time tonight, will go to the power play. Orlov does not like that call, but nonetheless, it is a power play. First one tonight for the Devils. Capitals have tied up the game against the Habs in the third period, and of course, it is the grade 8 Alexander Ovechkin who ties it up. Stoffel says, yeah, in my opinion, third period. Cardiac Canes, but traditionally they seem to get better as time marches on. Fair enough. Until OT, then it's meh. So they're meh in the first period and overtime. But the second and third, so as long as they get through the first, not getting destroyed, it seems like the Hurricanes are going to be okay. They're only down 1-0 right now. But let's see if the Devils can double it here with their first crack on the power play, face off to the right of Anderson. Devils have yet to score on the power play in this series. Canes win the face-off here, and they'll have plenty of time to dump it out, as Martinook will dump. Martinook does have a shorthanded goal, which actually ended up being the game-winning goal in game number 2. So the Devils got to be weary of that. Dougie Hamilton will drop it back to Brett, and here he comes with a lot of speed up the center of the ice. Bratt now stops, feeds it back to Hamilton, back to Bratt. Now Nason around the boards. Martinook intercepts it for a moment, gets it to Burns. Devils are able to keep it in. Hamilton now. Wrist shot. That one gets stopped by Anderson. Puck behind the net now. Martinook trying to get it out. Needing some help here. Now the puck goes over to the left side where Timo Meier will get to it first. Meier chips it out of Hischier. Top of the point now to Dougie Hamilton. Hamilton with it. Hamilton. Right side now to Bratt. Bratt slowly makes his way. Bratt still with it now. Bratt back to Hamilton. Back to Bratt left side. Now just out of the reach of Nason. It goes into the right corner. Nason's the first one to get there. Looking for some help. Puck gets loose. Jordan Stahl trying to get it out. He cannot. Meier and Hischier fighting along with Jordan Stahl as well as Brent Burns for Carolina. Both teams still pushing here. Puck comes loose where Hamilton gets to it. Hamilton drops it off to Timo Meier. Meier tries to make a pass, gets broken up. Bratt regains it. Bratt with it now. Tries to feed it in front, gets broken up again. Puck bounces. Devils control. Hamilton with it. Hamilton, deflected shot. It's stopped by Anderson. Now Meier behind the net. Timo Meier with it. Over to Nason. Nason now drops it off to Timo Meier. Hamilton, top of the point. Hamilton, now to Timo Meier. Meier with it. Waits. Still with it. Over now to Bratt. Bratt left side. Top of the point to Meier. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Bratt with it now. Bratt waits. Gets it over to Hamilton. Back to Hischier. Feeds in front. Deflected shot gets blocked. Power play is up for Carolina. And Martinook will dump it out. And now an opportunity for Orlov, but it just comes out of his reach. And both teams are at it in the right corner of the Devil's zone. Orlov feeds it. Shot there. Just goes wide of Markstrom. Pesce being hounded here in his own zone, looking for help. Good job by the Canes penalty kill there, as now both teams are unsuccessful on their first power play. Walker, he takes a pass that goes to the left corner. Roslovic behind the net. Feeds it in front there. That shot gets blocked, and Hischier will get it for New Jersey, and he'll flip it out. Less than 9 minutes to go in this second period. Second period shots 8-2 in favor of Carolina, and that pass deflects up and out of play with 8:47 to go in this second period. Devils couldn't score on the power play, but still lead it here 1-0. RJ says, I'm watching Capitals versus Habs. The end of the second was this big fight in the bench. Washington player and Habs player like 10 minutes for game misconduct. I think that was Anderson and Tom Wilson. And according to John Covarrubias, the Canadiens have retaken the lead at 4-3. So that game just continues to get absurd. What a game you have in Montreal. Danelle says, Neil, I kind of see that too. The Devils don't look ready for the second period. Meanwhile, the Hurricanes get more shots and pressure. You know what's interesting about that, Danelle? And I'm not saying you're wrong, because I think you're absolutely right in this sense. But throughout the year, the Devils were just slow starters, but always the second and third periods were their better periods. So it is interesting how against Carolina, they've seemed to get off to good starts, at least in games 2 and 3. But it's that lack of consistent play that's really the issue, right? So, but again, Jacob Markstrom continuing to be strong in net, and that defense blocking some shots. But got to give Carolina a lot of credit. They're coming out and throwing everything at New Jersey right now, throwing literally everything. I think another big thing for the Devils is that their power play, third best in the NHL throughout the regular season, but have yet to convert here in these playoffs. But then again, you are facing the Hurricanes, who have the number 1 ranked penalty kill in the NHL. So you knew this was going to be a challenge, and it's still a challenge here for the Devils to find a power play goal. Nico Hischier still with the lone goal of this game late back in the first period. His second goal of this series and his 4th of his career. I saw, by the way, apparently on the TNT broadcast, they showed Martin Brodeur, the legendary Devils goaltender, waving a white towel like every other fan has, and getting the crowd fired up, which is great. I think what would be great is if in game 4, especially if the series is 2-1, you get Jack Hughes, granted with his good shoulder, waving, and getting the crowd fired up, because I think that would be huge. Sheldon Keefe even mentioned that Jack Hughes has actually been around the team, supporting them, which is good, especially considering that he can't obviously play. He's out for the year. but it's good to still have him in the locker room, for the vibes, which is great. Back to the action here as now the Hurricanes look to come the other way. Might be a 2-on-1, but a good play there for a moment. Hurricanes trying to recontrol it. Now they get to it. Aho with a shot, and that one gets fought up by Markstrom. That Timo Meier tries to flip it out. Hurricanes give it an Orlov with a shot, and that one's fought up by Markstrom. Puck comes out in front. Puck is still loose, but Timo will get to it, and this time he'll flip it out. It won't be enough for an icing. Ref waves it off anyway. But the Devils have to be careful here. They got to find a way to get something going the other way. Block shots are 18-3 in favor of the Devils. So clearly that's showcasing just how aggressive offensively here Hurricanes are. But now Cotter comes the other way. Cotter with it. He gets crunched by Walker. Hurricanes slowly were able to get it out. And now they look to come the other way. Kotkaniemi with the puck. Kotkaniemi tried to drop it top to Walker. Got broken up by Glass. And now Nemec will calmly flip it over to Nason. And it gets flipped out where Cotter will get to it. And Cotter now comes into the zone. Paul Cotter still with it. Cotter still with it. Takes a shot, but that one goes completely wide. Didn't even come close to reaching the net. That comes out back into the Devils zone with 7:20 and ticking to go in this second period. Pratt drops it to Hamilton. Hamilton pass over to Mercer, who drops it off to Haula. Haula throws it to the net, but it hits the side of the net and nothing else. Now the Hurricanes come the other way, and they'll dump it into the left corner. Dumoulin wraps it around to Dawson Mercer. Mercer will backhand it out of the zone, where Slavin will go back and get it for Carolina. And that one goes all the way back down into the Devils zone, and it'll be an icing here against Carolina with 6:52 to go in the second. Speaking of Dawson Mercer, his younger brother, Riley Mercer, who's a goaltender, actually just signed an entry-level contract with the Minnesota Wild today. So congratulations to Riley Mercer, who played for Drummondville in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. I believe won the QMJHL championship this past year as a starting netminder. So a young goaltender with a lot of promise, and the Minnesota Wild strengthened their prospect pool when it comes to between the pipes. But congratulations to the Mercer family, who now have 2 NHL players in their household. And that puck goes all the way down. It'll be an icing against the Devils. And Meier does not agree with that, as he thought there was a stick on it, but the ref disagrees. I got to tell you, if Brent Burns, looking at him on the screen, if Brent Burns shaved his beard now, I would actually be upset. I would be very upset. Ooh, that puck almost was touched up by Brent Burns. It actually bounced right over his stick. That's what resulted in the icing. Let's go on, Zillarex. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Happy Friday. Thank you for hanging out. As that shot there by Burns is stopped and covered by the glove of Jacob Markstrom. But thank you, Zillarex, for hanging out. We do appreciate it. Make sure to leave a like if you guys haven't already. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And hit that notification bell so you get notified every time we go live right here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. We are trying to continue to build our brand here on YouTube and make this the #1 place for live NHL and hockey live watch-alongs. Face off to the left here of Markstrom in the New Jersey zone with 6:36 remaining in this second period. Devils still with the 1-0 lead on a goal from Hischier late back in the first period. Zillarex is an Islander fan, but they still want the Devils to win. So Zillarex, I appreciate your support of the red and black, even though you were a fan of the blue and orange. Your thoughts, by the way, Zillarex, I want to get your thoughts because you're an Islander fan. Your thoughts on the Islanders letting go or dismissing Lou Lamoriello as GM. Would really like to know your thoughts. Ryan Dumoulin coming to the zone for the Devils. Dumoulin still with it now. Dumoulin waits, drops it to Pratt. Pratt throws it in front. Haller with a shot that gets stopped. Rebound try. Puck is still loose. Puck is still loose. Where is it? Still not sure. Both teams pushing for it. Puck is loose to get shot. And that one somehow didn't go. Oh my goodness. Timo Meier. I don't know if he got robbed or what, but he somehow did not score there. It looked like a for sure 2-0 lead. Timo Meier continuing to be one of the most snake-bitten players I have ever seen in the playoffs for the Devils. This is incredible That puck was loose for God knows how long. I got to see it again. Oh my goodness, what a glove save. Oh, he robbed him, Freddie Andersen, with the save of the playoffs. Holy smokes, what a save. You can't even be mad at Timo Meier for that. Just an unreal save from the 35-year-old Andersen to deny the Devils of doubling the lead. Hurricanes dump it back into the Devils zone. Siegenthaler flips it or couldn't get it out. Stankoven intercepts it. Stankoven with a shot. That gets fought off by Markstrom. Puck comes out top of the point, and Chatfield couldn't keep it in. It's a delayed offside. No, it isn't offsides against the Canes with 5:40 to go. But Stoffel, you're right. You're right. That was insane. Another unreal save by Freddie Andersen on Timo Meier, by the way. I don't even know anymore. I don't even know how Timo Meier could be this unlucky when it comes to this. Even if he lifted the puck just a little bit, it was nine. If this was the regular season, if we're being honest, that puck is in the back of the net 9 times out of 10. But a great save by Freddie Andersen. Got to give him all the credit in the world. Wow. Zillarex talking about Lou Lamoriello, no longer the GM of the Islanders, saying, great, best decision ever. I was crying tears of joy. It's the greatest moment of my life. Couldn't sleep. It was unbelievable. Best decision in Islanders franchise. I think Zillarex is doing a good job of showing you exactly just how most Islander fans feel about finally getting away from the Lou Lamoriello type of hockey. And now we'll see who they hire next as the next GM. Kind of a fun thing here, Zillarex. I don't know if you know this, but there's a lot of different names that have come out in terms of just who could be the next GM of the Islanders. It's really interesting to see what type of direction they go in. It's going to be interesting. But one name that has come up that actually will be interviewing for the job is Kate Madigan. Kate Madigan currently is the assistant GM of the New Jersey Devils, and she has done a fantastic job as Tom Fitzgerald's right-wing woman. She's done a great job, and if she does get hired, she will be the first female general manager in NHL history. So we'll see. It would suck as a Devils fan to lose a great, person like her, but I would be very happy for her if she found a way to become, to break more barriers and to become the GM of the Islanders. Would be very happy for her. But I just wanted to mention that. I really still can't believe that save by Freddie Andersen, because for sure it looked like it was going to be 2-0. And for Timo Meier, who has been the bearer of a lot of criticism for the lack of production, particularly in the playoffs, and being the second highest paid player on the Devils, it's frustrating even when he's playing as well as he has even in this game, he gets robbed again. As now Nico Hischier gets around, he falls down. Hischier with a shot that gets fought off by Andersen. Gets it top of the point, Siegenthaler around the boards where Hischier will get to it, fighting along with Chatfield. Hischier in the right corner, still fighting along here. Hischier stops, gets some space, tries to feed it in front, but it's intercepted by Blake, and now the Hurricanes will come the other way. Now be dumped in. Siegenthaler backhands it over to Hamilton, and Hamilton will flip it out, and it gets touched down by Slavin over to Burns with just a little under 5 minutes to go in this second period. Timo Meier over now to Palat. Palat stops, and that stick goes absolutely flying. Whose stick was that? I think that was Jarvis's stick. I don't know what happened there, but that stick went 40 feet in the air. That was incredible. As now the Canes come in with a shot, and that one's deflected up and into the mesh for a face-off off a shot from Aho with 4:34 to go in this second period. Who is going to be the first female GM in NHL history? I kind of missed it. Kate Madigan, the assistant GM of the New Jersey Devils, is interviewing for the GM job of the New York Islanders. So if Kate Madigan gets hired and accepts the job, she will be the first female GM in NHL history. No one yet to know the Islanders could get the first female GM. Exactly. So, we don't know yet. Who knows how quickly that process will go. Hurricanes with a shot that gets blocked. Puck behind the net now, behind Markstrom. Now Pesce gets to it and he'll flip it out. Shots are actually now even at 14 aside, and the shots are only 10-6 now in favor of the Hurricanes. So low shots again for both of these teams, a lot of block shots. Walker with a shot that comes up high, fought off by Markstrom. Kotkaniemi tries to turn around shot, gets broken up. Puck is loose. That shot there goes wide of Markstrom. Kotkaniemi controls it now for Carolina. Kotkaniemi, turnaround pass, now over to Martinook. Martinook, that pass gets intercepted by Pesce, and he'll flip it out. And now Haula, he gets knocked down. I don't know how that's not a penalty. It is a penalty. And the Devils are going to the power play. Erik Haula gets tripped by Jordan Martinook. And now the Devils will get their second power play of the night with 3:50 to go in this second period. And it looks like the Habs are on their way to getting themselves back in the series, as they've now just made it 5-3 with 5:37 to go. Also, Logan Thompson has gotten hurt yet again. So Lindgren is currently in the net for Washington, and hopefully it's not a significant one. Devils is not generating more shots, and scoring goals is an issue. Both are very true, Danelle. But let's see what they can do on this power play again. Another opportunity to try to double this lead, especially with it being late in the second period. Face-off won by the Devils, and they'll set up. Dougie Hamilton over to Timo Meier. Dumps it all the way around the other side to Bratt. Bratt now over to Hamilton, but he couldn't keep it in, and he'll have to backtrack here. Is now Timo Meier. He'll slow it up, and he'll drop it back to Bratt, and he comes with a lot of speed up the center of the ice. Flips over the right side to Nason. Nason fighting along with Slavin. He'll dump it around the other side to Meier, who will set it up. Timo Meier. That pass gets broken up, and Burns intercepts it and clears. Almost the short-handed chance the other way, but Hamilton breaks it up. Devils can't seem to get it going so far here in the first 40 seconds. As now Bratt comes in. Bratt with it now. Flips it left side to Nason. Nason along the boards, but now Slavin gets to it easily, and he'll clear it again. RJ saying it's his left leg, which is not good if you're a goalie. Here comes Timo Meier in. He stops and waits. Drops it off to Bratt. Bratt gets around two defenders. Still with it now. Bratt gets it. Top of the point. Now to Nemec. Shimon Nemec waits. Left side to Timo Meier. Meier back to Nemec. Nemec takes a wrist shot that gets deflected to the right corner. Hischier gets there. Hischier with it now. Leaves it. Nemec drive. That one is stopped. Rebound gets snuffed out and it gets cleared. Nemec and Aho in a foot race. Aho gets to it first. He comes in with a backhand and he gets denied by Markstrom. Big time save there by Jacob Markstrom, denying Aho on a breakaway shorthanded opportunity. Devils second unit on now on the power play. Mercer just had to reach up to Tar. Puck is loose. Mercer gets to it to Palat. Devils have maybe one last chance here to set something up. Glass now to Palat. Right side now to Glass. Now to Nemec. Back there. Gets it now to Tatar. Now to Glass. Gets it over to Palat. Palat, power play is up now for the Devils. Palat throws it at the net. It goes wide. Mercer, he gets crunched by Orlov. And the Canes clear. So both teams now 0 for 2 on the power play in this game. So neither team's power play has been very effective, not only in this game, but throughout most of the series. Shots on goal 17-16 in favor of Carolina at this moment, with 1:25 to go in the period. Kotkaniemi now to Svechnikov with a shot, and that gets blocked by the diving Dumoulin. And that puck nearly got to a streaking Bastion. Now the Devils lose it for a moment here. Still with it now, Kotkaniemi over the right side to Svechnikov. Svechnikov in the corner. Svechnikov still with it now, behind the net. Makes a backhand shot that gets blocked. Walker throws it at the net, deflected just wide of Markstrom. 1 minute to go in this period. Hurricanes forecheck again, very strong here. Devils got to find a way to get it out, and they do. Where Walker tries to backhand, it gets knocked down. Walker regains it. Gostisbehere tries to get around Dumoulin, but Dumoulin now intercepts it and drops it off to Pesce. Pesce will dump it out to the other side. That puck bounces up in the air. Canes get to it. Roslovic behind the net. Jack Roslovic. Good poke check there by Cotter as he tried to get that pass over to Burns with 25 seconds to go in the period. That puck goes all the way down. No icing here. And Markstrom will just play it over to Brett Pesce. Pesce, that pass deflects up. That comes out to center ice. And now here comes Blake with an opportunity. Blake right side. Sharp angle try gets stopped by Markstrom. Puck is loose. Comes out of the Devil's zone with 7 seconds to go in the period. Hischier with it now. Hischier trying to kill off the last couple seconds. He will. And that'll do it for the second period of play as the Devils, despite being heavily outplayed and outshot in that period, still hold on to the 1-0 lead with 20 minutes to go. Jacob Markstrom continuing to play strong, but the Devils need a lot more work to do if they want to win this one. But it has been a good game so far. What a third game in both the Montreal series and this series that we got going on right now. I'm on neither. I'm not on. This game's not. I believe this game's on TBS or something. I'm not sure nationally, but I'm watching it through the Devils broadcast. That's where I'm watching it. But let us take a moment. Let's take a couple of minutes to catch our breath, rest, and recoup here as we'll get you set up for the second intermission. But before we do that, get another break here. We'll see you guys in a little bit.
Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time. Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time. Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time. Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time. Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time.
Welcome everybody here to our second intermission report of our game number 3 of this Eastern Conference first round matchup between the Devils and the Carolina Hurricanes. After 40 minutes of play, despite a tremendous 20 minutes by the Carolina Hurricanes in which they dominated play, dominated shots on goal and everything, the Devils still hold on to that 1-0 lead thanks to that first period goal late in that first period by Nico Hischier. But the Hurricanes, like I said, they really played a phenomenal second period. They did everything they could to tie that game up. But Jacob Markstrom did a great job. But you know what? You got to give your stick taps to Freddie Anderson. Late in that second period, there was a scramble in front of the crease. Timo Meier gets the puck with an open net. And Freddie Anderson on his stomach robs, and I mean absolutely robs, Timo Meier of a goal and keeps the Devils from doubling the lead. The Devils had both power plays in that period, but did not score in either one of them. So both teams are now 0 for 2 on the power play. But now this sets up for a very intense final 20 minutes of play here. Again, what is at stake? If the Canes find a way to come back and win this game, they will take a commanding 3-0 series lead heading into game number 4. If the Devils win, there will at least be a game number 5, and the Devils will have a chance to even up the series on Sunday at 3:30 for game number 4 in New Jersey. And I just found out within the last couple of minutes that I will actually be in attendance for game number 4. So I will not be able to do the live watch along for game number 4. I do apologize, but I will be in attendance for game number 4. I'm very excited to be there for some playoff hockey, and hopefully the Devils will be only down 2-1 heading into that one. But I want you guys to see this, because this was literally the difference between the Devils being up 2 and still being up 1 was simply Freddie Anderson making an unreal save on Timo Meier. If the Canes come back to win, that is the play you're going to look back to say was the difference in them finding a way to difference for them winning this game. I mean, it's unbelievable. But you look at Timo Meier and, I don't know what to say, right? He's been totally snake bit in this series and in for a lot of times in the playoffs. I actually looked it up. He's never really been that big of a playoff performer. So it's kind of one of those things where you have, unfortunately, if you're a Devils fan, have expected it, but what a save again from Freddie Andersen. You got to give him all the credit in the world. You really do. I mean, it was absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, that was the save of the playoffs right there from Freddie Andersen. Give him a lot of credit. So we head into this third period. What do we got? For the Devils, they got to play a lot better. They got to get back to how they played in that first period. They got to create chances. They got to put pressure in front of Freddie Andersen. And most importantly, they have to find a way to score more than one goal. Again, the Devils have scored at least one goal in all 3 games of the series, but they can only get to one because then the Canes just lock it down. The Devils got to find a way to break through. If they can break through and get a second goal, I think the floodgates will open up a little bit. Not a whole lot, but I think that they will finally find some openings here and be able to score more than once. And I think that's really what it comes down to. So big period here. And if you're the Hurricanes, I mean, look, that was a great second period. If you could do that in the third, you give yourself a really good opportunity here. I don't even look at the goal that they gave up as like, oh, they could have done something there to really prevent it. At the end of the day, I feel like that the Canes have played a really strong game for the most part, other than maybe at times in the first period. But now they have an opportunity here. They're only down by 1, and they still have a lot of control. Remember, they're up 2-0, right? And they have an opportunity here to try to put a stranglehold on this series. They can come back, have a big third period, and win this game. But the hope is, especially if you're a Devils fan, that you come out and you see a very desperate Devils team that comes out and throws everything they can at Andersen to try to get one past him here, get a couple more past him, and hopefully get a goal here. Now, I did see one thing that came up, and we'll see what happens. But Jonathan Kovacevic apparently wasn't on the bench at one point during that second period. I didn't notice it till I looked here on Twitter. So it'll be interesting to see if Kovacevic is able to come back. I mean, look, the Devils have been depleted with injuries in general, but most specifically on the back end, right? So you think about it, right? You didn't have Siegenthaler for game 1 and game 2, but he's finally back in the lineup, and he's played fairly well in his first game back since February 4th. But you were already without Brendan Dillon and Luke Hughes, and now maybe you're going to lose. Maybe you're in trouble of losing another one of your better defensemen in Jonathan Kovacevic, and you might be having even fewer. You may have to really play a lot more minutes with your defensive pairings moving forward. Something to keep an eye on here as we get into this final period of play. But no, this is going to be something. It's going to be something. It's nerve-wracking. At the end of the day, guys, I'm a fan, right? I'm a fan. So obviously I want the Devils to win. So I'm going to be nervous regardless. But even if I wasn't a fan, I would still be very, amped up to see what happens here down the road. But let's see here. The Habs just scored another one. They're up 6-3. I think by this point, because RJ sent this about 3 minutes ago, I think at this point you could safely say the Habs are on their way to getting a little bit more back in this series. It's actually 32 seconds to be exact left to go. And the Habs with a dominant win, and that's exactly what happened. They had a dominant win over the Capitals in game number 3, winning 6-3. Outshot the Capitals 40-20. The big question is, Logan Thompson got hurt, did not return to that game. What is the significance of his injury? Will we see him in game 4? Will we see him at another point in these playoffs? Or is they're going to have to ride Lindgren the rest of the way? We shall see. But we are going to step aside one more time. And when we come back, the third period of our game will be starting.
Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time.
So here we go as we are about ready to get underway in this third period. Game 3 of this Eastern Conference first round between the Hurricanes and the Devils. Devils still with the 1-0 lead on a goal way back at the end of the first period by Nico Hischier. And now we'll see what can happen here as we get going. And hopefully this scoreboard updates itself. That would be nice. Hi Neil, just back, was out for an evening meal in Toronto's Koreatown. Awesome, Connor. Thank you again for coming back and hanging out with us. You're in for a good third period here. Again, Devils up 1-0. We're just about 30 seconds into this third period. I really wish the scoreboard would update itself. A big hit there near the Hurricane zone. And I'm not sure who got hit there. I think it was Timo. But he got up. Fans wanted a penalty, but the ref does not agree. So we play on here. Hits 22-21 in favor of the Devils at this moment. Just read the scoreline in Montreal. Just like my thoughts on New Jersey, Washington ran on fumes and looked ill-prepared. I would not say the same thing about Carolina. I thought the first period they weren't great, but as mentioned before, the second period they were tremendous, had a lot of great opportunities. Just Jacob Markstrom was just a little bit better. But Freddie Anderson again made the save of the game as now Brad comes in with a shot in that one. It's fought off. Another opportunity. And that one missed. No, it's dead. They score! Dawson Mercer somehow got it through. And the Devils have doubled the lead. Less than 90 seconds into the third period. It's Nothing, New Jersey. Oh, what a scramble in front. I don't even know how that went in. I thought it went wide. But it looks like it's Dawson Mercer. We got to see it again on the replay. Great play by Bratt. Got around Slavin. Tried to tuck it around Anderson. That came out and, oh, it did go in. So what happened was the net got lifted up as it was going in. So that puck was going to go in the net. And then this net was lifted off at the same time. So that's why it looked like it never went in and went wide. But that goal counts. It's Dawson Mercer scoring his first of these playoffs. And the Devils get the all-important second goal. For the first time in this series, they have scored more than one goal in a game, which is huge. I can't but laugh at Kyle. He tried to ward me off from going there. And so far, it's more than met my expectations. That's awesome. That's awesome. The Koreatown in Toronto, I'm assuming you're talking about. That's awesome, Connor. But a big goal there from Dawson Mercer. Big time. Very much needed that one. And the Devils have finally been able to score more than once on Freddie Anderson. Now, if you're the Devils, you got to find a way here to get another one. You can't let Carolina get back in this one. You got to find a way to lock it down. Markstrom will play the puck out of the zone. It'll go all the way back down. And it won't be an icing, surprisingly. I thought it was going to be. Devils intercept the puck. Nason backhands it around the boards. I mentioned it before, but Jonathan Kovacevic apparently at one point was not on the Devils bench. Going to keep my eye to see if he comes back at all here. I'll look on Twitter when I have an opportunity to give you guys the best update that I can. As that puck is at near the Devils bench. Dawson Mercer, first goal of the playoffs. Jesper Bratt with an assist. So Bratt now has at least 1 point in each of the first 3 playoff games this year for the Devils. So Bratt is on a point streak to start these Stanley Cup playoffs. And Zillarex is also back. Welcome back, Zillarex. You just missed the Devils' second goal, courtesy of Dawson Mercer. Yes, Dawson Mercer. You already knew that, Zillarex. Good job. My favorite Devil. He is very liked a lot through a lot of Devils players. He's had an up and down year, not the type of year that I think people expected out of him, but he still had a pretty productive year, and he gets a much needed goal very early on, less than 90 seconds into this period. Big goal there if you're the Devils. Face off to the right of Anderson in the Hurricane zone. Hurricanes win that face-off. Shots now 19-18 in favor of the Hurricanes. I got distracted there for a second. Sorry about that. Now Pesce gets it over to Bastian. Bastian will tap it in. Where Chatfield will go back and get it for Carolina. And that puck's going to go all the way down, and that'll be an icing against Carolina. So far, I do not see Jonathan Kovacevic on the ice. Seeing an overhead replay of the Mercer goal. So again, that puck was indeed. Oh no! So Freddie Anderson actually knocked that puck in himself, but Mercer was the last to touch it, so it is his goal. But that puck was going to go in. Brent Burns pushed Mercer, and as he pushed him, the net was coming off its moorings, but it was going to go in. And that's why the ref called it a good goal. So a big goal there for Dawson Mercer. I believe that is his second or third career playoff goal. I know he scored 1 or 2 in 2020, in the 22-23 season. But that was big. And again, like I mentioned before, the Devils, up until just moments ago, hadn't been able to score more than once on Freddie Anderson, and they finally were able to score one there. That was a big goal. Face-off won here pretty cleanly by Jordan Stahl. I think it's off of Stahl, but it comes out of the zone. Dumoulin will flip it back into the Carolina zone, where Orlov will play it over to Chatfield. And now the Hurricanes look to come the other way. Carrier gets around one defender. Carrier, backhand try. That one's fought up by Markstrom. Puck comes over to the left side where Timo Meier will play it now. And Meier will take it himself. Gets around, tried to get around Orlov, gets bumped off the puck. And that one's intercepted by Dougie Hamilton. Hamilton with the feed over to Timo Meier. His backhand pass gets broken up, and Stankoven will get it over now to Chatfield, who will slow it up for Carolina. Chatfield, that one goes off the stick of Jordan Stahl. Markstrom plays it up to Mercer, who has the most recent goal for the Devils. Dawson Mercer now over to Eric Holla. Slavin slowly plays it up to Burns. And Burns chips it up now to the right side. And here comes Blake. Blake drops it off now to Aho. Aho, he's being checked along by Mercer. Now gets over to Carey. That shot deflects just wide. Puck in the left corner here in the New Jersey zone. Mercer with a good feed up the boards, and now Holla comes the other way, and Eric Holla will just slip it into the left corner as both teams make a change with 15:48 to go in this third period. Devils now up 2-0. Nason now over to Dumoulin. Dumoulin drops it off to Cody Glass, but he's offsides. So I'm going to check really quickly, guys, here for an update. I want to see what happened with Jonathan Kovacevic, if there is an update, because that's kind of the thing I'm looking for. I want to quickly get to it when I can. Kovacevic is not back out for the third period. So the Devils are down yet another defenseman. Not sure what happened with Jonathan Kovacevic. And if he does not return, I'm sure somebody will ask Sheldon Keefe what the status of him is. But if he's not able to go for game 4, then we're going to see probably yet another Utica Comet defenseman. Or I think, honestly, it's probably going to end up being Seamus Casey. And I think for a lot of people, that would be, I know a lot of people would love to see Seamus Casey get in, the former University of Michigan defenseman, who is a rookie. So now Nemec with a shot that deflects to the left side here in the Carolina zone. Palat and Kotkaniemi fighting for it. Now Gostisbehere and Hischier. Palat almost intercepted that. And Palat with a big hit there on Svechnikov. Andre Palat having himself a pretty physical game, and Timo Meier's stick was held, but no penalty. Svechnikov with a shot that gets blocked. Gostisbehere tries to keep it in, and now we have a penalty, and I think it's going to be on the Devils, I assume. Timo Meier is confused as to why he didn't get a call before. But it looks like it's going to be Siegenthaler who goes to the box for the Devils. So that'll be Siegenthaler's second power play of second penalty of the night. Megan says, Dawson Mercer is from where I live. Oh, nice. Wait, is that Nova Scotia? I feel bad, Maggot. I'm going to say this wrong. Is it Nova? No, it's Newfoundland. No, Newfoundland, right? You guys are Newfie, correct? Yeah, Newfie. That's what I knew it started with an N. Thank you. Yeah, Newfoundland. And I don't know if you knew, Maggot, I think I mentioned it before, but Dawson Mercer's younger brother, Riley Mercer, who's a goaltender, signed a 3-year entry-level contract earlier today with the Minnesota Wild. So now the Mercers have 2 NHL players in their family, which is cool. So here we go. Canes get their third power play of the night. Just a little over 5 minutes into this third period. Devils up now 2-0. Canes are 0 for 2 on the power play. They've had one shot in total. Face-off won by the Devils. Pesce and Aho now fighting for it in the left corner. Pesce tried to get it out. He cannot. Puck comes out top of the point to Gostisbehere. Left side now to Jarvis. Now drops it off to Blake. Blake with a shot, and that one is stopped by the shoulder and covered by Markstrom. Blake's had himself a really good game, a couple of really good chances, but Markstrom has continued to frustrate all of the Hurricanes shooters at this point. Right, Newfoundland. Thank you again. So Dumoulin tried to make a diving poke check there, but missed. This faceoff here won by, I'm going to guess it was Carolina. Both teams kind of had it at one point. But now Blake behind the net. As Dumoulin, he falls down, no penalty, but the Devils get to the puck and they'll clear it. 90 seconds to go on the Hurricanes power play. It is really cool. It is really cool that the Mercers now have 2 NHLers in their household. Very, very cool. Markstrom comes way out of his net, but plays it up to Hischier, who will clear it. So that was a dangerous play by Markstrom, but fortunately it worked out. Hischier intercepts it again. Now to Pesce, and Hamilton clears. So the Devils' penalty kill continuing to be strong here. 1 minute to go on the Hurricanes power play as Gostisbehere drops it up to Seth Jarvis. Now to Aho. Back to Jarvis with a shot, and he scores! Seth Jarvis with a beautiful wrister top shelf over the right shoulder of Markstrom, and the Canes are back in it. They make it now 2-1 with 13:49 to go in this third period. A beautiful shot by Seth Jarvis there, kind of a tic-tac-toe, very similar to the play that they set up earlier on a power play in this game where Stankoven took the shot, but Markstrom made the save. This time, Jarvis is able to beat Markstrom. Oh, it went right under his arm and in. And just a great job there on that defensive breakdown. And so now the Hurricanes have gotten on the board. And now if you're a Devils fan, you got to feel a little bit nervous here because now it's back to a 1-goal lead. Seth Jarvis, 15th career playoff goal, his second of the series. His first was an empty netter in game number 2. Stoffel liking that one. He says, on the board, anyone's game now. A lot of hockey left to play. Both teams have found the back of the net within the first 6 minutes or so of this period. Mercer scored first for the Devils, and then just moments ago, it was a power play goal by Seth Jarvis, and we have a penalty. As Siegenthaler's helmet came off, and it looks like it's going to be Carrier that goes to the box. Carrier doesn't like that, but the Devils will go to their third power play looking to try to regain the 2-goal lead. So that was a big goal, big goal for Carolina as they finally were able to beat Markstrom. Just going to check something really quick here, guys. Don't mind me. But that was big. But yeah, no Kovacevic here. And so, yeah, that's really frustrating. Connor letting me know that the Oilers take the early 1-0 lead over the LA Kings in that game number 3. The Kings are up 2-0 in that series. The home team, by the way, continues to be so good in this playoff here. With the Habs win tonight, the home team is now 15-6 or 15-5 in this year's Stanley Cup playoffs. Devils will look to try to continue that. They can hold on for the win here in this one. But again, if you're just tuning in, here's what you missed. Nico Hischier got the game going with a late goal in the first period that gave the Devils a 1-0 lead. Both teams had chances in the second, but it was mostly Carolina. Neither team scored, but not without some really good opportunities. And then in this third period here, things have opened up a bit more. Dawson Mercer got the Devils their second goal of the night, less than 90 seconds into this period. But then moments ago, Seth Jarvis finally gets the Hurricanes on the board. His 15th playoff goal of his career and his second of this series. And also there is a call here. It's a boarding call against Carrier on Siegenthaler. So the Devils now will get their third power play of the night. So both teams couldn't score on their first 2. And now the Hurricanes just scored on their third. So we'll see if the Devils can do the same here, which would be absolutely huge here, especially trying to regain the 2-goal lead. So the face-off to start this power play will be to the right of Freddie Anderson. Face-off won here by the Canes. Martinook's able to backhand it out of the zone. The Devils once again will have to start the power play by trying to get back in. Devils, and now an opportunity for Jordan Staal, shorthanded. Staal drops it off, but nobody there. But the Canes will be able to go back and kill off some more clock. Devils 0 for 2 on the power play, as mentioned before. They have 4 shots in those 2 combined power plays. Hurricanes have scored 2 power play goals in the series. The Devils have still yet to get 1. As now Timo drops it off to Nason, get back to Timo, and now the Devils will set up. Hischier behind the net. Nico Hischier drops it to Timo Meier. Back to Hischier on the right side. Hischier containing the puck, still with now. Hischier, wrist shot. That one gets blocked. Now in the left corner. Back over to Meier on the right, in the right corner now. Meier being pinned along the boards here. Puck is loose. Jarvis will get to it. He won't dump it. He'll actually just carry it in. Maybe a shorthanded chance. Aho comes in. Sebastian Aho will actually just come back out, and he'll kill off more clock here And that's almost a turnover there by Carolina. Got to be careful. Meyer comes in for the Devils, drops off to Bratt, but that comes out of the zone. 45 seconds to go on the Devils power play. Tatar now with its second power play unit out for New Jersey right now. Nemec, he'll drop it back to Mercer, now to Palat. Andre Palat will now chip it into the left side. Both teams going after it. Chatfield looked like he almost able to clear it, but now Orlov picks him up, and Dmitry Orlov will clear it. So the Devils doing not much of anything here, as it looks like they might be well on their way to going 0 for 3 on the power play. Again, Hurricanes with the best penalty kill overall in the NHL during the regular season, and they've continued to have success here in the playoffs. Now Palat to Tatar, just out of reach of Mercer. Nemec has to go back. That'll do it for the Devils power play. So they didn't really do anything on it, not even a shot. And so the Devils only still have a 2-1 lead in this one. Sebastian Aho and Shane Gostisbehere got assists on that power play goal at the 6:11 mark from Seth Jarvis. Shots are right now even at 21 aside. Slavin with a shot that gets blocked in front by Dumoulin. Now the Devils look, they might have numbers coming the other way. Cotter trying to flip it over, can't. He bounces back, but almost got to Cotter, but couldn't control it. Now Dumoulin will go back and restart. Dumoulin playing just over 21 and a half minutes of ice time. He'll have to play a lot down the stretch with Kovacevic out. Probably the rest of the game is Pesce with a soft shot. That's gloved easily by Anderson with 10:52 to go in this one. Magus says, anyone else notice that the last time Boston and Detroit didn't make the playoffs was 1967? Kind of scary to know. It is crazy. It is crazy that it's been that long since both of those original 6 teams did not make the playoffs. And it's the first time in the entire history of the NHL that all American original 6 teams did not make the playoffs, which is crazy. But the Leafs won that year. Anyway, it's going, if Jersey wins this series, that may be next. Wouldn't that be funny, right? Wouldn't that be funny? The last time that happened where the Bruins and Detroit didn't make the playoffs, the Leafs won the cup. Kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? Kind of makes you wonder. And now the Leafs have a 3-0 series lead in that one. They're coming back against Ottawa. They'll look to try to end it, I believe, tomorrow in game number 4 and be the first team to advance to the second round. 10 and a half minutes to go in this one. Both teams have found the back of the net in this period. As of now, it is 2-1 Devils. Timo Meier drops it off to Hischier. Hischier now drops it over to Meier in the right corner. Timo Meier drops it back over to Hischier. Hischier, he gets tripped up a little bit there. No penalty. Hischier gets it back. Hischier tried to feed it, lost the puck, and the Hurricanes are able to control it. Oh, Nico Hischier just never could get a solid control of that and never even got a shot on goal, as we've just reached the halfway point of this third period here. It's really coming down to the wire in this one. Now Nate Bastian, he loses the puck for a moment, but Dumoulin backs him up and is back in the defensive zone. Third period shots, 5-3 in favor of the Devils. Shots are even throughout the game, a total of 21 each. Bastian with it now. Bastian, backhand try. That one gets stopped. Puck is loose in the crease, but the Canes are able to get it out. But the Devils are able to get it back in. Cotter with it in the right corner now with Cody Glass. Glass being pinned by 2 different Carolina players. And the Canes are able to get to that puck. And now Robinson comes the other way for Carolina. And then a nice solid hit by Dumoulin in a haul. And then a good hit by Robinson on Pesce. As now the physicality's picking up. As now Slavin picks up. Sharp angle try, hits the side of the net. Robinson dumps it around the boards. Hits 31-24 in favor of New Jersey. That shot there deflects wide of Markstrom. Slavin with it now. Throws it in front. Good block there. Diving block by Dumoulin. Pesce's able to get to it and dump it out with 8:48 to go in this period. It really looks like it's going to come down to the literal last second here in this one, guys. Caught Kaniemi with it now. He gets tripped up. Slavin with it now. Slavin waits. Shot deflected. And it goes wide of Markstrom. It was in the crease and somehow didn't go. Kane still with it in the zone. Feeds it over left side to Slavin. Slavin tries to throw it in front. Nobody home. Martinook keeps it in for Carolina. Martinook left side now to Slavin. Slavin drops it to Kotkaniemi. Kotkaniemi now. Tired Devils out there right now. Birds with it. Birds. Wrist shot. That one somehow fought off through traffic by Markstrom. Kotkaniemi again. The puck in the right corner. Kotkaniemi backhands it over to Svechnikov. Svechnikov with it. Wait. Shot. Blocked. Puck is now in the right corner again. Holla tries to get it out, and he cannot. Hurricanes with it again. Martinook with a shot. That one is loose. Pesce dumping it around the boards. And unfortunately, it went out of play, and it's going to be a penalty against the Devils. It's a delay of game against Brett Pesce with 7:52 to go in this one. Hurricanes, they got one back, and now they'll go to the power play again with a chance to tie it. Wow. What a finish to this one we have, ladies and gentlemen. Again, as mentioned before, the Oilers have the early 1-0 lead in Game 3 of that Western Conference Series over the LA Kings. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with the goal for the Oilers. Shots currently 7-3 in favor of the Oilers. So, yeah, this is going to be tough. So the Devils, who their penalty kill has been strong throughout most of the game, they just gave up a power play goal minutes ago to Seth Jarvis. And now you have a big opportunity here if you're Carolina to maybe get yourself another goal and come back from down 2 to get this one. But that was a disastrous, and I mean disastrous shift by the Devils there. They couldn't get the puck out. They were struggling mightily, and I mean mightily there. Brett Pesce just desperately trying to get it out. And in that moment, he ends up dumping it into the stands for a delay of game. So this is a massive penalty kill coming up. If you are the New Jersey Devils, you got to find a way to kill it off here and maintain that 1-goal lead. You're Carolina. I feel like if you're Carolina, you can kind of smell blood in the water, right? Kind of feel like the momentum is turned in your favor. You got the most recent goal after going down 2-0, and now you get another opportunity on the power play after you just scored on one. They just showed the shot earlier by Slavin that hit off of Nemec and then hit off the back of Markstrom and almost went in. I don't know if you call that a save, but it was a lucky bounce nonetheless. That was a rather funny attempt by Markstrom to make what looked like a masterful save, only the puck was already behind him. True. Games on tomorrow. You have 4 games in the Stanley Cup playoffs tomorrow. Lightning Panthers, Game 3, 1 o'clock. Golden Knights, Wild, Game 4 at 4. Maple Leaf Senators at 7, Game 4. And then Game 4, Stars Avalanche, 9:30. Those are your Stanley Cup playoff games tomorrow. Opportunity shot there by Svechnikov. Gets the open net shot, and they score! It's Shane Gostisbehere, and the Hurricanes have tied it at 2. They've come back from down 2 with back-to-back power play goals, and we have a tie hockey game. Markstrom made a desperation save, but he was out of the net. And excuse me, I think it was Sebastian Aho who scored. Let me check that again. I just want to be clear. That was indeed Sebastian Aho. Hischier and Siegenthaler both tried to block it, but they could not. And the Devils have blown a 2-goal lead here in the third, and the Hurricanes have tied it. Absolutely brutal if you are the Devils. So now we'll see what type of response we get. Sebastian Aho, his 28th career playoff goal, his first of the series, and it comes at a big moment here. You can hear a pin drop in this crowd right now as the Canes come back in. Carrier with a shot that goes wide. Hall will get to it. Now to Bratt. Bratt, one-on-one with Orlov. Bratt stops, waits, still with it, and he loses the puck off a stick poke from Stankoven. The Hurricanes dump it back where the Devils will get to it. Mercer, who has the most recent goal for the Devils, that made it 2-0. And you can see the difference, by the way. You can see the difference, by the way, in fans, right? Damn it. Whoa. Woohoo. Look out. Face plant. There's the difference in fans, right? Of this. 6:45 to go in this one. Devils had a 2-0 lead at one point in this third period, But thanks to back-to-back power play goals from Seth Jarvis and then Sebastian Aho, the Hurricanes have come back to tie it. And now if you're the Devils, you got to reach down as far as you can and try to get the next goal, because right now the momentum is clearly in the favor of Carolina, who right now is looking to try to come back, take this entire game, and go up 3-0 with Game 4 on Saturday. Svechnikov with the lone assist on that Aho goal. Shots now even at 23 aside, as well as the score even at 2 apiece with 6:31 to go in this one. I'm totally neutral, but you got to admit, Carolina, just spectacular watch. They come at you in waves, man. They really do. And the Devils have, unfortunately, in many ways, hurt themselves by, you can't even say the injuries, just mistakes like Brett Pesce delay a game. I've seen Dawson Mercer delay a game. And like Mega said, the delay of game killed him. Was a bad. Last 2 penalty kills have been very bad for the Devils for sure. This is that Brendan Moore conditioning. They get that late fire. It definitely seems like they've gotten like a new wave of energy for sure. And that puck bounces. Martinook comes in, tries to drop it off, gets broken up. Cody Glass can't get it out. Both teams whacking out into the blue line, but now it comes out. And now the Hurricanes will dump it back in. Brian Dumoulin now stops and is behind his own net. And he'll stop it for a moment with 5:55 to go in this one. And you can see it, like even in the crowd, right? I have the game on mute because obviously I can't because of legal reasons, but you can just see how much of the air has just gone out of the building. But Jesper Bratt with a shot that gets fought off by Anderson. Now over to Haula, wraps it around the boards, now to Dougie Hamilton. Hamilton now takes a shot that gets blocked. Backhand pass by Bratt, gets taken away by the Canes, and they will be able to dump it out. It'll go all the way down. It'll be an icing here against Carolina with 5:28 to go. Really hate that penalty of sending the puck into the stands. It was never a penalty before. I mean, it's a delay of game, Danelle. That's been a penalty for a long time. It's just you can't take that type of penalty in that situation if you're the Devils. And that was a bad one by the former Hurricane, Brett Pesce. Rob Brindamore definitely is a fantastic coach. He's done a great job over the years. Still can't get over the hump to win the cup, but hey, we'll see what they can do throughout these playoffs for sure. They used to be so good on the penalty kill, but with a few good players out, makes a huge difference. You're right. That's definitely a difference as well, is that you look at it, right? You're without 3 of your starting defensemen in the lineup right now, with Dylan out, Luke Hughes is out, Kovacevic got hurt at some point and now hasn't been able to return. It's tough. It's tough, but Devils win this faceoff here. Siegenthaler over to Hamilton. Hamilton, wrist shot. That one is stopped by Anderson. There's a broken stick. It looks like it's Chatfield. Now, that one will be a delayed high stick. But the Canes touch it up, so we keep playing here with 5 minutes to go in this one. And Hall will dump it into the left side. Jordan Stahl and Siegenthaler fighting for it. Stankoven now. Taken away by Dougie Hamilton. Hamilton will slow it up and he'll flip it out over to Palat. Palat drops it off to Cody Glass. And Cody Glass will dump it in and try to go get it. Burns to Slavin. That puck comes out in front, but Cotter couldn't get to it. Now Cotter goes the other way. Paul Cotter with it. Cotter behind the net. Still with the puck. Feeds it. Pesce with a shot. Then it's stopped. Puck is loose. Scramble in the crease. Mercer gets to it. Top of the point now to Dumoulin. Now over to Cotter. Paul Cotter stops. Waits for it now. Cotter still with the puck. Cotter still using the body. He stops. Waits for it again. Feeds it over to Pesce. Pesce shot. And that one just goes wide of Anderson. Dumoulin fans that and has to go back. Oh, the Devils with arguably their best opportunity of the last 8 or 9 minutes there, but just couldn't get it past Anderson. Now Siegenthaler will go back and get it for New Jersey with 3:48 to go. Nemec. Now over to Eric Haula. Drops it off to Bratt. And that one's intercepted by Gostisbehere. And here comes Seth Jarvis the other way. He had the first of the 2 power play goals tonight. It's the big dogs that have been the scoring difference so far for Carolina in this one. Aho and Jarvis. That puck nearly a turnover there. Nemec is able to get it up to Hischier. Hischier looking for some help. Gets it over to Haula. Eric Haula drops it to Hischier. Hischier loses the puck, but it goes into the left corner where Gosper will get to it. Gosper gets it over to Walker, and Walker can't get it out for a moment here. That puck just comes out of the zone where Dumoulin will wait. Brian Dumoulin will go back and reset. Gets it over. Now the Canes will control with 2:54 and ticking to go in this third period. Starting to wonder. I won't say why, but maybe I'll say why in a little bit. Now the Devils look to come the other way. Palat, he'll flip it high and into the left corner where Chatfield and Nason go after it. Svechnikov now up the side here, intercepted by Cotter, and Cotter will slowly dump it back in. Won't be an icing. Shots on goal 25-23 in favor of New Jersey right now. Here comes Taylor Hall around. He avoids a big hit. Justin Dowling intercepts it for New Jersey. Now to Siegenthaler. Up the boards now to Tatar, and he'll whack it in. Orlov, he's able to get it out. Hurricanes dumping it back into the Devil zone. Pesce will get to it first for New Jersey. Pesce avoids the big hit, bounces it off the boards, and gets it safely now to Siegenthaler, who will flip it deep for Justin Dowling. Dowling stops. He waits for it, throws it at the net just wide. And now Hamilton keeps it in. Hamilton with a shot that gets blocked to the right side. It'll go all the way back into the Devil's zone where they'll get to it with 1:45 to go in this third period. Dumoulin now, he'll bank it one hop off the boards into the right corner of Carolina. Jordan Stahl fighting along here, gets it over to Burns. Chips it up now to Carrier. Left side now to Jordan Stahl. Jordan Stahl comes in, drops it to Stankoven. That pass gets broken up. Puck is loose, but it's intercepted by Pesce. Pesce drops it now to the right side to Palat. Palat tries to keep it in. Palat gets to it. Palat, backhand pass, gets it over to Bratt. Bratt beats it to Mercer. Mercer with a shot that pops up in the air, and Anderson gloves it and covers with 1:16 to go in the third. Mercer looking for his second of the night at what would have been a game winner. They're showing a replay of the unbelievable save that Freddie Anderson made back in the second period, which would have given the Devils at that time a 2-0 lead. And again, I mentioned to you guys at the second intermission, go back to that save if the Canes come back and win this game. Face off to the left of Freddie Anderson in the Carolina zone with 1:16 to go in this one. Face off one here by Carolina as Orlov will slow it up. Here comes Chatfield. Chatfield, he'll dump it in. Dougie Hamilton gets there first. Hamilton over to Dumoulin and gets it up now to Palat, who will flip it in. Timo Meier stays on sides, fighting along with Orlov. Oh, no, they did call off sides. And Orlov, just with a nice push on Meier as he goes down. No penalty with 58.7 to go in this one. I do want the Devils, but I want Canes more. So you want Carolina to win, Andrew B. That's essentially what you're saying. Thoughts on St. Louis hammering on Winnipeg? Yeah, I mean, the St. Louis Blues made a statement. They really, really played a phenomenal game in game number 3. You do wonder a little bit about Hellebuyck because he has a history of not doing well in the playoffs. And you're hoping if you're Winnipeg, it's just a blip on the radar and you could bounce back in game 4. But we'll see. We shall see. Thoughts in the beginning on the Panthers game last night? What is happening right now? Rob Brindamore looking confused as ever. Did I miss something? They're showing fans as well. I'm totally missing it. It kind of feels like that they called something, but maybe Brindamore was looking for something. I don't know. But this faceoff will be at the faceoff dot near the Canes bench with 58 seconds to go. Devils win that faceoff. Doom, Siegenthaler over to Hamilton, and he'll take a shot on Anderson, who will easily glove it away. Burns long feed that goes all the way back down, and that'll be an icing here against Carolina with 45 seconds to go in this one. Stoffel, we are 44.9 seconds away from extra hockey here at The Rock. The special teams for the Devils in this series against the Hurricanes has killed them. Yeah, you're absolutely right. They've given up several power play goals on a kill that's usually very, very good. And their power play, which was third in the NHL this year, has run dry so far in this series. Burns gets to it for Carolina. He'll flip it out. Dumoulin and Blake almost tied up. And then Aho falls down. Canes wanted the penalty. They're not going to get it. Now Hamilton gets it over to Dumoulin. Dumoulin now, he's being hounded, and it's intercepted. Opportunity for the Canes. Shot! And a great glove save by Markstrom as he rubs Kotkaniemi with 23.2 to go. Dumoulin turned over the puck in the right corner. I guess he fell. Yeah, he kind of fell on his own. Blake intercepted it, dropped it to Kotkaniemi, and just a great save by Markstrom to deny the Canes of taking the lead there late. Logan Thompson sustained apparent injury to his left leg in Game 3. So we'll see what happens with Logan Thompson moving forward. That could be a big swing in favor of Montreal, especially after the dominant performance they had today in the 6-3 win. 13 seconds to go in this third period. Bratt with it. Gets over to Haula. Spin move around. Haula comes in. 5 seconds to go. He drops off the puck. Mercer. Puck is bouncing. Devils can't keep it in. And ladies and gentlemen, we will have overtime here in game number 3. So the Devils took the early 2-0 lead in this third period. Mercer got a goal less than 90 seconds in, but back-to-back power play goals by the Canes, courtesy of Seth Jarvis and then Sebastian Aho, is able to tie this game up at 2. And so now, simply put, next goal wins. Hurricanes get the next one. They put the Devils on the brink of elimination. If the Devils win, they cut the series deficit in half for game and go into Game 4 on Sunday afternoon with a chance to even the series. Who is going to be the hero tonight? This is going to be a fun finish here. And before we continue on here, we're going to step aside for another moment to get another commercial break, get a little bit more rest, get you guys ready for overtime.
Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time. Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time. Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time. Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time. Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time.
And welcome back, everybody, here to our third period intermission report. And the reason that is a third period intermission report is because we are tied at 2 after 60 minutes of play here between the Hurricanes and the Devils. If you're just tuning in, here's what you missed. The Devils got off to the early lead thanks to a late first period goal from Nico Hischier. The Canes were the dominant team in the second period, but thanks to Jacob Markstrom, he kept the Canes off the scoreboard that entire period, and it was 1-0 going into the third period. Devils, less than 90 seconds in, were able to double the lead thanks to Dawson Mercer getting one just past Freddie Anderson. And then that's when things spiraled out of control for New Jersey. Back-to-back power play goals from Seth Jarvis and then Sebastian Aho tied this game up for the Hurricanes. And really, since the Devils went up 2-0, the Hurricanes have just been the better team. They've outworked the Devils. They've pressured them in all ways. And look, again, Jacob Markstrom can only do so much to keep them off the board. The Devils simply blew it. There's no other kind of way to put it. The good news is that the game isn't over. You can forgive all the sins if you find a way to get the next goal. It takes one. It takes one goal, and you win this game. You find a way to get that goal. You cut the deficit in the series to 2-1 with Game 4 at home on Sunday afternoon. But if the Canes get the next one, they will have a stranglehold 3-0 on this series, needing one more to advance to the second round. So yeah, this is nerve-wracking time, but you know what? As we're just huge fans of hockey, and especially in overtime, this is what we live for, right? This is what we love, right? We love overtime hockey, the excitement of it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We saw some overtime hockey over the last couple of days. First time that in this series that we're going to overtime. It's going to be fun. So leave your predictions. Who do you think, what team and what player is going to score the game winner in overtime for either team? RJ, give me an update. The Kings have gotten back within one goal. They are now down 2-1 to the Oilers late in that first period. So Tampa Bay winger Brandon Hagel was suspended one game by the NHL Department of Player Safety on Friday night for what was labeled as, quote, an extremely forceful body check to an unsuspecting opponent, end quote. So that's where we're at with that. So, I mean, I kind of figured that with the severity of that hit and everything, I think you kind of figured that it was going to happen, right? Zillerex saying that either Nico Hischier or Dawson Mercer are going to score the game winner. So they think that one of the two guys that have already scored tonight for the Devils is going to get their second in a game winner. And they also said for the Hurricanes, they're going to go with Sebastian Aho to get their second tonight and the game winner. So I'm actually going to start these predictions to see if anybody gets them right. I will say this. Let's look at the score predictions from earlier today. So I don't mean to toot my own horn, but if the Devils do find a way to get the next goal and obviously win this game, I will have gotten the winner of the game and the score exactly correct, because I said 3-2 Devils. I think, though, I said it was in regulation. I don't remember entirely if that was the case, but I'm going to go with the Devils to win this one. I still think that they're going to find a way. Maybe I'm being too optimistic. I know it's very easy for Devils fans to just pack it in and say, it's over, we're going to lose this game, and that'll be that. But you know what? You never know, man. You never know. Oilers up 2-1 after one period of play, if I'm not mistaken, right? Is it one? I think it was only one, right? I just want to make sure. And thank you, as always, to RJ for giving us our score updates from different games throughout the night. Yeah, it is 2-1 Oilers after one period of play. Again, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Evan Bouchard with the 2 goals for Edmonton, and then Adrian Kempe with already his 4th goal of this series and of the playoffs got the lone goal so far for LA. But this is it, guys. This is a big, this is for the Devils for sure. You could say this is probably the biggest period of the season, right? Because you know that if you don't score, then you're going to go down 3-0 with your season on the line going into game number 4. But if you do win, you get some life. You get some life, and you know that you'll get a chance to play at least 2 more games, and you'll have an opportunity to even the series up in game number 4 on Sunday. If the Devils score more than 2 damn goals, they would win one of these games. Well, the thing that's tough to know is that they finally were able to score more than one, right? That's, it's almost like a process, right? Where like we're slowly processing towards like getting better at different things. But, I don't know. But we're not even going to take a commercial break, guys. We are just about ready to get overtime underway. This is going to be big. The special teams of the Devils in the series against the Hurricanes has killed them. Yep, totally agree. You've said that numerous times for sure. Washington Capitals goaltender Logan Thompson, with that leg injury that he sustained in the 6-3 loss earlier tonight in Game 3 against Montreal, is listed as day-to-day. So I guess that's a little bit of good news. So it'll be interesting to see. It'll be very interesting to see what who the Capitals will go with in game number 4 as they look to try to take a 3-1 series lead heading back to Washington. But here we go, guys. This is big. This is big. I can't, look, I know I'm a Devils fan, but I'm going to give you guys a big time call regardless of who wins this game. That's just how I am, right? Hurricanes were 5-2 in overtime in the regular season. Devils were 4-5. To be fair, both of those were, for everybody was 3-on-3, so it's a little bit different since it's 5-on-5. The good news for the Devils is that they have been able to get some 5-on-5 goals, which is important. The Devils' last overtime win was Game 3 of the Eastern Conference first-round matchup 2 years ago against the New York Rangers, where Dougie Hamilton won it in the first overtime, and the Devils came back from down 2-0 in that series to win that whole series in 7 games. So let's see if maybe some history can repeat itself for the Devils 2 years later. We are about to find out as this overtime period is underway. As that puck is in the right side. And the Hurricanes trying to get it out. They're able to just get out. Stankoven trying to get around Dumoulin. He waits for it. Stankoven with it. Throws it at the net. Goes wide of Markstrom. Carrier over to Stahl. Jordan Stahl behind the net. Stahl, top of the point, Chatfield. Chatfield, wrist shot. That one gets blocked by Palat. And now the Devils will try to come back the other way. Meyer will dump it right at Anderson, who will play it up. And now here come the Hurricanes the other way. Jarvis, wrist shot, hit the side of the net. I thought it went in, but it hit the side of the net, not in the net. Now Eric Hall comes up. Drops it off now to Bratt. Bratt loses the puck. Might have an opportunity here. Here they come. Shot! And that one goes wide. Jacob Slavin looking at trying to win it. Mercer coming in. Mercer with the puck. Tries to get around Jarvis. Throws it around the boards over to Siegenthaler. Siegenthaler over to Bratt. Bratt gets around a defender. Bratt's still with it. Bratt waits. Gives a Nemec shot. That one is stopped by Anderson. And now the Canes will slowly make their way the other way. And they'll dump it in. First big opportunity there for the Devils. Shimon Nemec. But Anderson denies him there. That pass just out of the reach of Cotter. Canes dropping it off now the right side to Blake. Blake, shot. That one is stopped. Turnaround shot. And that one goes wide of Markstrom. Hurricanes with it now. Over the left side, that pass gets broken up by Cody Glass. Cody Glass tried to flip it over. Nemec having some trouble, but he's able to calmly get it over to Siegenthaler, who will flip it out of the zone. That one comes up at center ice, where Walker will dump it back into the left corner in the Devils zone. Glass chips up to Siegenthaler, and again, Siegenthaler will flip it out. Now go back into the Carolina zone, just about 2 minutes into this overtime. Dumoulin will play it back for New Jersey here. Brian Dumoulin comes up. Dumoulin with it, and he'll dump it in. Orlov gets to it first, tries to whack at it, and it got blocked there by Nate Bastian. Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall and now Dowling with it. Dowling dropped out to Tatar. Now back to Dowling. Justin Dowling in the left corner. Still fighting for it. Gets to Tatar. Tatar in front of Bastian. That one is stopped by Anderson. He dives and he covers it. Nate Bastian and the fourth line with a great chance there. But again, Anderson shutting the door. Of all the people that could have scored there, right? Not a bad shot from Nemec earlier, by the way. As Anderson did leave a little bit of opening, but he's able to get back. Bastian did get a shot on goal there. Good opportunity from the Devils' fourth line, but couldn't cash in. Face off to the right of Anderson here. .225 into this overtime. Next goal wins. Either it's a 3-0 series lead for the Hurricanes, or it's a 2-1 series deficit for the Devils. Zillerek says, let's go Devils. Devils win that draw. Dumoulin with it. Wait, wrist shot. That one gets through, but it just goes wide of Anderson. Bastian is able to play it back to Hamilton. That pass broken up. Puck is bouncing around, and Hamilton will control for the Devils. Brian Dumoulin now stops, waits. Dumoulin is getting pretty close, I think, to playing nearly 30 minutes tonight. It's probably the most he's played in one game as a Devil. Dumoulin has the most recent overtime game winner for the Devils. It was the second to last game of the regular season. He scored his first goal as a Devil in overtime against the Bruins. Don't know. I would wonder if he's a guy that maybe you could see find a way to win it. Siegenthaler dumps it in. Now gets it over. Puck is bouncing and it'll come back out into the Devil zone. Pesce played off the boards. Now Carolina comes in. They may have numbers. Jarvis tried to make a pass, but it got broken up there. And he sure looked like he got tripped there. The fans are looking for something. And I think it's just an offsides, I think. I'm not sure. I think it's just an offsides. I don't think it was a penalty. But in overtime, guys, in overtime, the refs are not going to call something unless it's blatantly obvious. And let's see here. Oh, yeah, that was a trip. Yeah, Blake got away with one there. Blake definitely got away with one there. So, what are you going to do? Nothing you can do about it now, right? You got to just move on. Face-off. Face-off will be in the face-off dot near the penalty box. And this one's won by the Devils. Nemec will slow it up to Dumoulin. Dumoulin now chips it up. Overtime shots 3-1 in favor of the Devils in the early going here, less than 4 minutes in. Devils trying to keep the pressure on. Bratt now gets over to Mercer. Mercer backhanded. Over to Haula. Drops it to Bratt. Bratt stops, waits for it. Bratt still with it. Drops to Haula. Haula, wrist shot. That one gets blocked, and someone got upended there on the other side. And Anderson actually was able to make the glove save. Not sure it got upended there, but we are now 4:01 into this overtime. The Devils have only 3 players on their roster that have overtime playoff goals. Dougie Hamilton has the most recent, as we mentioned 2 years ago. Andre Palat has one, and Eric Hall has one. For the Hurricanes, they also only have 3. Jordan Staal has 3 career playoff overtime goals. And there were 2 others that I didn't see there. I think one of them was Svechnikov, maybe, and I definitely think one of them was Aho. Hamilton with a shot that just goes wide. Timo Meier, turnaround shot. That one also just goes wide of Anderson. Dougie Hamilton throws it on net. That gets deflected high of thing. And that one's a trip, and that's going to be a penalty. So the Devils are going to go to the power play this time as Timo earns that trip. Brent Burns will go to the box, and the Devils will get a big power play opportunity here. They haven't scored on one yet in this series. This would be the perfect time to finally get one. Well, to now the Devils are going to the power play now. Brent Burns is going to go to the box 2 minutes for tripping. I mean, he did trip him. And again, it has to be kind of egregious. And looks like Brent Burns had some choice words for Timo Meier. I think it was for Timo Meier as he went to the box. So here we go. Big power play coming up. Face-off won here by the Devils. Hamilton will start it. Dougie Hamilton. That pass is deflected, but he sure controls it. Bratt now with it. Gets to Hamilton, top of the point. Hamilton with it now. Now to Bratt. Bratt waits. Wrist shot. That deflected wide. Into the left corner now. Bratt with it. Gets it back to Hamilton. Hamilton. Now to Hischier. Shot. That one gets blocked as well. And now the Slavin gets to it for Carolina, and he'll clear. Devils got to find a way here. Got to find a way. They haven't scored a power play goal yet in this series. As mentioned before, this would be the time to do it. Timo Meier into the zone. Meier tried to make a pass that gets intercepted by Jarvis, and he'll dump it out again. 1:15 to go on the Burns tripping call. Hamilton over to Bratt. Now over to Nason. Nason will dump it in. The Canes get to it first, and they'll clear again. 1 minute to go on this power play. It started off pretty well, but Devils again struggling to just get it into the zone to set it up. Here comes Brett. Now to Mercer. Dawson Mercer still with the puck. Mercer stops. Tries to make a backhand. Intercepted by Stahl. Now the Canes may have an opportunity. Jarvis falls down. Backhand try goes wide. No penalty there, as now the Devils will go the other way. They might have numbers. Hischier with the puck. Nico Hischier goes to the right corner. Around the boards. And Jordan Stahl will get to it, and he'll chip it out again. With 20 seconds to go, as, dangerous pass there by Markstrom. Almost turned it over. Cody Glass with 15 seconds to go on this power play. He comes in. Cody Glass stops, loses the puck, and the Canes are able to get it out. They might have a chance shorthanded if they hurry. Here comes Kotkaniemi up the wing. Kotkaniemi waits, wrist shot. That gets stopped, and that other opportunity gets blocked, and that'll do it for the Devils' power play. So again, the Hurricanes' penalty kill denies them of an opportunity. Kotkaniemi back in. Opportunity turnaround shot is stopped and covered by Jacob Markstrom. So the Devils with the first huge opportunity of overtime, a power play opportunity, and they could not cash in as they are now 0 for 4 tonight. Their power play woes continue. They have still yet to find one here in this series. The Canes' penalty kill has been phenomenal. Now we'll see if the Canes can use that as momentum here and get that goal. Overtime shots 3-2 in favor of New Jersey right now. Face off 1 year by the Devils, and Dumoulin will dump it out. Walker gets to it, and he'll just fling it back into the Devils zone. Dumoulin on a backhand, and that one will go down. Won't be an icing as Anderson will touch the puck. Devils fourth line on there right now. That one's flipped high up into the air, where Dumoulin will go back and get it first for New Jersey. He'll flip it over to the other side to Pesce. Pesce almost turned it over, and Cotter gets to it, and he'll flip it out. And now here comes Brian Dumoulin. He might have a step. Dumoulin comes in. Wrist shot. That one is stopped by Anderson, and Walker now looks to try to come the other way for Carolina. They might have numbers here if they hurry. Svechnikov slowly makes his way in. Andrei Svechnikov stops, waits, gets it over to Kotkaniemi. Goes around the boards here. Palat off the boards. Aho goes down. I don't know if he got knocked down or something, but nonetheless, they play on. Chatfield, he tried to dump it out, but he lost his stick. Now here comes Palat. Andre Palat in. Waits, looking for somebody, gets it to Siegenthaler, bounces off his stick. Siegenthaler one-hands it, keeps it in the Carolina zone. Now Aho will take it the other way for Carolina. Sebastian Aho on the left side. Waits, rich shot, and that one goes high and wide of Markstrom. Blake and Timo fighting along with it. As now Timo Meier gets it out for New Jersey 8 minutes into this overtime. Puck bounces. Carolina's just able to keep it in. It's Jordan Stahl, the big veteran captain of the Carolina Hurricanes with the puck. Jordan Stahl fighting along with Siegenthaler. High rising shot out of nowhere from Jarvis, but it misses Markstrom. Blake with it now. Blake, wrist shot again high and wide of Markstrom. Jesper Bratt dumping it around the boards. Siegenthaler gets it over to Bratt. And the Devils will look to come the other way. Jesper Bratt has a little speed. Drops up to Mercer. Mercer now to the right side of Dougie Hamilton. Wrist shot. That one goes wide of Anderson. Bratt now with it. Over to Dougie Hamilton. Lost the puck. Now Eric Holla will look to try to get to it. He's fighting along now with Jordan Stahl. Eric Holla is being pushed down. It's both teams pushing for that puck. Comes loose. Gets it over. Backhand try by Nason. And he's robbed by the glove hand of Freddie Anderson. And we'll get a face-off. Freddie Anderson, the 35-year-old, with another great glove save. This time on Stefan Nason on a backhand. As again, the Devils with another really good opportunity there, but couldn't get it. Top 10 best is saying how many OTs we think this game's going to. I don't know. Hopefully not too many. As a backhand shot there is stopped. Puck is loose in the left corner there. That's both teams whacking at it. Nason and Cotter. Nason gets to it first for New Jersey. Tries to make it feed the glass. And that was too hot to handle. And now the Canes look to come the other way. Kotkaniemi has some space. Left side now over to Martinook. That one gets poke checked away. That was Svechnikov. They got the puck poked away, and that will be an offsides call against Carolina with 10:43 to go in this overtime. Well, we'll see. No overtime in this playoff year at this point has gone beyond one. Both games that I've seen in overtime were in the Dallas-Colorado series. Both ended in the first overtime. Shots on goal per periods. It was 8-4 Devils in the first, 14-9 Carolina in the second, 8-6 in the third for New Jersey, and then 7-2 in New Jersey for overtime. So if you're looking at it from just the shots on goal, you could say, well, the Devils have been the better team. But, just getting the opportune goals is what Carolina's good at. Hischier gets hit hard. Pesce keeps it in. Timo Meier, he fans on the shot. Turnaround shot there, goes wide of Anderson. Palat now with the puck, but he loses it, and Taylor Hall looks to try to flip it the other way. Taylor Hall up the left side, makes a pass, but it's delayed offsides, and the Canes will just have to dump it out. Hischier got hit hard in the offensive zone, but got right up. So good to see that the captain is able to be okay there. Mercer tries to flip it in, got broken up by Slavin. Jacob Slavin turns over the puck to Bratt. Jesper Bratt now with it. Over to Dumoulin. Brian Dumoulin comes in. Dumoulin, shot! Deflected just wide. Hamilton with the puck. He takes a shot. That gets blocked. And now the Canes look to try to come the other way. They might have numbers if they hurry. Stankomen with it. Throws it at the net, but it goes completely wide of Markstrom. And Mercer will flip it up to Erik Haula, who will backhand it just out of reach. But Bratt almost was able to control it. Brent Burns will get back first for Carolina. Erik Haula intercepted that for a moment. He intercepts it again. Bratt gets it. Now he feeds over to Pesce. Pesce waits. Rich shot just goes wide of Anderson. Pesce keeps it in again for the Devils. Pesce with a rich shot deflected just wide by Haula. Now Nason with a turnaround shot that gets blocked. Puck is loose again in the right corner. Jarvis trying to get it out, and he finally is able to. Devils putting on the pressure right now. But Anderson and co. frustrating the Devils at every turn right now. Cody Glass intercepts it for a moment. Puck in the left side where Jarvis will flip it out. And a big hit there by Siegenthaler as he knocks over Aho there. What a hit. Here comes Paul Cotter. Dumps it in. Cotter and Orlov fighting for it. Now Chatfield will get to it cleanly. And he'll get it over now to Jarvis. And the Canes will come the other way with 8.5 minutes to go in this first overtime. Timo Meier and Orlov fighting for it. That puck comes out of the zone. Svechnikov trying to get away from Hischier, and he does. Gets over to Chatfield, and that pass gets broken up, and it'll go back into the Devils' zone. Where Dumoulin will back in over to Nemec. We'll get it out. Deflects. Got to be careful. Nearly a turnover there. And now the Hurricanes try to dump it in. Roslovic lost the puck. Good hit there by Dowling. Now to Nemec. Shimon Nemec. Nemec gets around a defender. Nemec still with it. Nemec gets around another defender. Nemec wraps it around the boards where Justin Dowling will get there first. Devils' fourth line surprisingly out there. Bastian working in the corner. But that's taken away by Taylor Hall. And he'll backhand it off the boards and out. 7:42 to go in this overtime. Dougie Hamilton comes up the right side. And it's a delayed offsides here against the Devils. But it doesn't matter if the Canes come the other way. Might have a 3-on-2. Here they come. Gets it over. And that pass to Hall gets broken up. But Jordan Stahl keeps it in. I want to say Eric Stahl like a million times. And it's Jordan Stahl, his younger brother. Also could be a Hall of Famer. You can make an argument. Bastian trying to get around Burns there. Bastian fighting along with Burns in the left corner in the Carolina zone. Mercer gets to it. Mercer, turnaround shot gets blocked. Burns having some trouble here. Mercer intercepts it again. Hall fighting with him as well, but Burns is the one that comes out of it with the puck. 7 minutes to go in this overtime period. Bratt gets to it, and now the Devils look to come the other way again. Holla drops it off to Pesce. Now to Bratt. Jesper Bratt. Wrist shot. That one gets stopped and immediately cleared by the Canes. Is that going to be enough for an icing? Yes, it will be. Face off back in the Hurricane zone with 6:41 to go. In this first overtime period, the Devils have put on the pressure here a lot, but they have not been able to score just yet. There's a commercial break in overtime? I didn't think that was a thing. Wait a minute. Time out. Why are we going to commercial? It's not a thing. All right, apparently it is a thing. So there is a commercial break for some reason that I didn't understand. So it's 6:41 to go in this first overtime. It's going to be crazy. Oh, there were two over. You are right. You are correct. And I saw one of them. I saw Max Domi score the game winner in game 2. You are correct. One of the Capitals, Montreal. Yep, you are correct. So this is the sixth overtime game we've had of this series. Those commercials only at the 10-minute mark. Okay. Well, they're already back from that, whatever commercial break that was. 6:41 to go in this one. Defensive ice time. Everybody except Brett Pesce, Dougie Hamilton, Brian Dumoulin, all near 30 minutes. Jonathan Kovacevic only has 6. He did not return for the start of the second period. I don't know what ended up happening with him, but the Devils are down to 5 defensemen for, again, the rest of tonight. And that's why you're getting higher numbers time-wise for all these guys. And again, we know what's at stake, right? The Hurricanes get the next goal. They take a commanding 3-0 series lead with a chance to sweep on Sunday afternoon here in Jersey. But if the Devils win, they are back in the series and will get an opportunity to tie the series up at 2 with that game 4, as mentioned before, on Sunday afternoon. Devils have been the better team, you could say, throughout the majority of this overtime. They've had a lot of really good opportunities. They've even had a power play, but they have not been able to get that goal. Who is going to be the hero tonight for either team? Face off to the right of Freddie Andersen in the Carolina zone. The ref taking his grand old time dropping this puck. Face off won by the Hurricanes, I want to say. Again, kind of hard to tell. Palat gets to it, though, for the Devils. Chatfield tried to get it out. He cannot. Palat intercepts that. Andre Palat feeds it. He's sure with a shot, and he's denied by the glove of Freddie Andersen. He's sure looking for his second of the night. And then he has some choice words for Sebastian Aho after that one. But again, Freddie Andersen continuing to be unbelievable in net. And you just got to give him credit, right? You got to give him credit that he has done so much. And again, you go back to that ridiculous save he made in the second period where he robbed Timo Meier of what easily should have been the second goal of the night for the Devils at that time. And, you're going to look back on that, especially if the Canes complete the comeback here and win this in overtime. Overtime shots 8-2 right now in favor of the Devils. Devils intercept the puck, goes over to the right boards here. Puck is loose. Jordan Staal behind the net. Staal backhands it around, intercepted by Palat. Palat gets over to Hischier. Shot! That one is stopped. Rebound try! And that somehow didn't go! Oh, I don't know how that didn't go in. And it looks like we got a penalty here. It's a tripping call, but against who? I think it's Carolina. I believe the Devils are going to the power play yet again. I don't know how there, but I believe it was a tripping call, and it was. I believe it's Jordan Staal that's going to go. And oh my goodness, the shot from Dougie Hamilton. I think someone in Carolina got a piece. Let's see it again on the replay. Oh, diving play by Dmitry Orlov was able to block that just enough. There was an opening there, but now the Devils, for the second time this overtime, will get a chance to win it on the power play. Again, they have yet to score a power play goal in this series. Face off to the right of Freddie Andersen in the Carolina zone. Hischier wins the puck cleanly. Hamilton over to Pratt, back to Hamilton. Dougie Hamilton fighting along with Aho. Around the boards to Stefan Noesen. Noesen will chip it up to the left side to Timo Meier. Meier all the way to the other side to Pratt. Now gets to Dougie and the Devils. Oh no, Dougie Hamilton's stick broke. And now a 2-on-1 the other way, shorthanded. Here come the Canes. They can't get anything. Good defensive play. And now the Devils will look to come the other way. They might have numbers. Pratt with it now. Jesper Bratt stops. Feeds it to Noesen. Noesen around the net. Gets it to Meier. Timo Meier slows it up. Back to Noesen. Nason now with it. He lost the puck. Burns tries to clear it. He cannot. Burns still struggling here. Now over to Dougie Hamilton and Bratt, where Hamilton will control it. Dougie Hamilton gets it to Bratt. Bratt with it now. Still on the left side. Waits. Throws it at the net. Gets blocked before it reaches it. Nason looked like he got his stick held, but the Canes will intercept it and clear. So that was nearly a disaster because Dougie Hamilton's stick broke trying to keep the puck in. 50 seconds to go on this power play. Devils continuing to struggle on the power play. Haven't gotten it all night long. Mercer comes in, and that puck is loose, but Palat will control it. Devils second unit on now. Nemec controls it. Over now to Bratt. Bratt. Now over to Tatar. Now to Nemec. Nemec. Now to Palat. Palat right side. Palat. Wait. Shot there is blocked. That puck is loose. Still loose there. Both teams whacking at it. There's a diving player on it. Puck is still loose. Comes out. Nemec with a shot. That gets blocked. And now the Canes look to try to come the other way. But Tatar will get there first. It's just not happening right now. 10 seconds to go on this power play. A point-blank shot by Mercer gets a diving block. Dumoulin will go back. And the Devils, yet again, are unsuccessful on the power play. 0 for 2 just in overtime. Delayed offsides against the Devils here. Pesce will get to it, and he'll dump it back in. Burns can't find it. Almost intercepted there. Cody Glass gets to it. Now to Cotter. Cotter fighting along here with Slavin. Burns now gets to it. Kotkaniemi trying to whack it out. He cannot, and actually deflects out of play with 3:39 to go in this overtime. The Kings have come back from down 2-0 and have now tied their game against the Oilers, game 3 of that series. 2-2, 14-17 to go in that second period. But Devils, for the second time tonight, second time in this overtime, had a power play opportunity and did not score. They have almost thoroughly dominated this overtime period, but they have yet to get that game winner. This is crazy. Block shots 31-12 in favor of the Devils. But a great block just moments ago by Dmitry Orlov on a slot shot from Dawson Mercer there. Now the Canes come in. Canes have an opportunity. They have some space. Wrist shot there gets blocked to the right corner. Nemec now with it. Shimon Nemec around the boards. Bastian trying to get it out. Now Dowling chips up to Timo Meier. Timo Meier coming in. Trying to get around Kotkaniemi. Gets around Kotkaniemi, but can't get around Gostisbehere. And now the Hurricanes are able to get it out. Siegenthaler will control it now for New Jersey. Nemec back to Siegenthaler with 3 minutes to go in this overtime period. Nemec off the boards. Now here comes Brad into the zone. He stops, waits, tries a pass, but he fans on it. Now the Canes come the other way. The Canes will just flip it in. Brett Pesce will be the first one to get there. He'll stop, and both teams will make a change. Brett Pesce, left side now to Dumoulin. Dumoulin coming in, still with it now. Dumoulin gets around Chatfield. Dumoulin now in the left corner. It's defenseman, by the way, who's played well over 30 minutes now in this one. Dumoulin. Now Eric Halla. He'll one-hand it over now to Pesce. Pesce is able to get around defender. Pesce with it. Throws it over to Bratt. Couldn't control it. Bratt throws it at the net. Nobody home. Pesce with it now. Wrist shot deflected wide. And now the Canes come the other way. Might have a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Jarvis with it now. Waits. Jarvis. Wrist shot. That gets blocked. Jarvis falls down. That could have been a trip. Doesn't look like they called it. Hurricanes with some space now. Minute 55 to go in this overtime period. Palat gets it to Pesce. Pesce can't get it out. Carrier backhands it, but now the Devils will control. 100 seconds to go in this overtime period. It's dumped in. Burns will get to it. Brent Burns. He'll dump it in. 90 seconds to go in this overtime period. Dumoulin around the boards. It goes all the way back into the Carolina zone where Slavin will play it up for Carolina. Walker drops it off. Cotter intercepts it. Cotter trying to make a feed. Couldn't get to it. 1:12 to go in this overtime period. Paul Cotter with the puck now. Cotter will just dump it in. Anderson calmly play it to Slavin. Slavin flings it out. Taylor Hall makes a nice feed to Stankoven. Stankoven tries to feed it in front, gets broken up before it got there. Cody Glass trying to get it out. He can't. Both teams whacking at it right now, and Cody Glass the one that comes out with it with 42 seconds to go in overtime. Siegenthaler off a defender, tried to make a pass. Now here comes Blake the other way for Carolina. Blake and Tatar fighting along on the right side. Cody Glass gets there first for New Jersey. Glass being hounded here by Seth Jarvis, looking for help. Intercepted. Canes with opportunity. Still with the puck. Puck is loose again, but Tatar gets to it first for the Devils with 20 seconds to go. He'll flip it around, and he'll try to get around two Carolina players, but he won't, and it'll be an icing with 15.1 to go in this overtime. We are 15 seconds away from double overtime here in game number 3. What has been a phenomenal game between these two Metropolitan Division rivals. Again, the Devils had a 2-0 lead early on in the third period, but the Hurricanes tied it up with two power play goals by Seth Jarvis and then Sebastian Aho. And that is the last of the goals that we have seen at this point in the game. But the next goal wins, and it's either going to be a 3-0 series lead goal or a get back in the series goal if you're New Jersey. Face off to the right of Markstrom. It's won by the Devils. Dumoulin up to Nason. Maybe have one last chance here if they hurry. Nason comes in. Nason throws it at Anderson. He'll glove it. And no, it'll be a face-off here in the Carolina zone with 6.4. Nason was able to force Anderson to glove that, and the Devils will throw out their top line. They're going to just throw it out there and try to get this goal. Got Pesce, Hamilton, Jesper Bratt, Timo Meier, and Nico Hischier. You have the top dogs out there looking for what would essentially be a buzzer beater overtime goal if they can get it. Face off to the right of Anderson here. So that puck is won by Carolina cleanly. They'll let the clock run out, and that will do it as we will head to double overtime here in game number 3. And you are correct, Zillarex. We are indeed going to double overtime. So, if you're the Devils, you have to feel confident in the fact that you were very dominant in that overtime period. You had 2 different power play opportunities, but your power play woes continue. And now you go into a second overtime, and again, the mission is still the same. The next goal wins. So now these teams will have a little bit more of a rest, and this is where it gets hard. Because the longer this game goes, the harder it is, and it's all about conditioning, right? At this point, I think that's the fair way to say it. It's been a crazy game. Remember, this game started over 3 hours ago. And if you think about it, right, the Kings Oilers game number 3, that series is already in the second period. So that's how long this game has been going on. So we will see. We will see what happens. Before we get to that, we'll step aside for another break and get you guys ready for the second overtime period.
Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time.
All right, here we go. Do apologize for that, but I needed that longer break, especially with it being overtime and not many stoppages in play. But we are just about ready to get underway in this second overtime. Obviously, we're in it because neither team scored. The Devils were the much more dominant team in that overtime. First overtime, they had 2 power plays, but they could not cash in, and so we have to play a second overtime. This is going to be crazy. This is going to be crazy. I am I am scared. I am nervous. I am nervous, and yes, I am finally back. Do apologize for taking so long with that, but do appreciate everybody sticking around. If you've stuck around since the beginning, we are 20 minutes away, like actual 20 minutes away from this stream going on for 4 hours, which is crazy. We are 20 minutes away from midnight, which is crazy to think about. But maybe somebody will end it before it gets to that point. We don't know. But again, I know I keep repeating it, but I'll repeat it once again. We know what's at stake. If the Hurricanes score the next goal, they take a 3-0 series lead with a chance to sweep on Sunday afternoon in New Jersey. But if the Devils win this game, the series now goes to 2-1, and the Devils will have a chance to tie the series up in game number 4. Update in the only other game going on right now in the Western Conference. Kings just took the lead, or excuse me, no, the Oilers just tied it. It is now 3-3 between the Oilers and Kings in the second period, late in the second period. So that is a back and forth game. They've already scored more goals combined in that game than we've had in this entire game. But what a game between these two teams, man. They are giving everything they can to find a way to win this one. And just showing again the Sebastian Aho power play goal, which is still the last goal that either team has scored. And this is going to be interesting. If you're the Hurricanes, if you treat this second overtime like the second period of the game, you'll have a much better chance to win. And the Kings just took the lead. Why is that series just full of goals? So tonight has made it now the longest game in Prudential Center history, the home of the New Jersey Devils. The previous one was Game 3 of the 2012 Eastern Conference semifinals between the Devils and Flyers, ended at the 7:21 mark of the first overtime. So this is now the longest game NHL Stanley Cup playoff game in Prudential Center history. And we'll see how much longer it takes. This is big, man. Again, next goal wins. The head referee waiting to get confirmation, and we are just about ready to get going here. Here we go. As the second overtime has officially gotten underway. As Pesce flips it up, Jordan Staal, it gets broken up. Carrier trying to get around, but Pesce intercepts that. Now Palat makes a feed off the skate. Now to Hischier. Hischier, he gets leveled there by Jordan Staal. Good hit there, but Timo Meier gets the Hischier. Lost the puck. Dumoulin lost it as well. Pesce regains it for New Jersey. Over to Hischier now in the left corner. Orlov intercepted, but now Hischier gets it back. Hischier chips it up the boards. Couldn't get it over to Timo Meier. Good kick play there by Chatfield. Jordan Staal trying to get it out, and the Canes just get it out of the zone. And now Pesce comes in. Bit of a line change here. Devils come back in. Pesce waits. Brett Pesce in the right corner. He tries to drop it off. He can't get it to Hischier. Eric Hall fighting along. And now Jacob Slayman will get to it. And the Canes will dump it out again. Delayed offsides here against the Devils as the Canes will look to set up just about a minute into the second overtime. I will go and watch that goal when this is over, or the next long break that I have. That puck is loose. Now the Devils look to come the other way. Might have a 4-on-2 if they hurry. Dougie Hamilton with it. Over to Nason. Backhand pass goes to the right corner where Cotter gets to it first. Paul Cotter and Jarvis fighting along here. Jarvis now with it. But that's intercepted by Cody Glass. Cody Glass has it now. Glass shot. That one is stopped. Puck is loose. Devils keeping it in. Now Dougie Hamilton with the puck. Hamilton left side now to Siegenthaler. Waits. Wrist shot. And that one goes wide of Anderson. Jarvis gets leveled by Dougie Hamilton. Now the Canes come the other way. Kotkaniemi by himself. Tries to get around. Siegenthaler, but he cannot. And now Cotter backhands it over to Siegenthaler, and the Devils will control 2 minutes into this overtime. Second overtime. Here comes Justin Dowling. Dowling waits over to Tsar. Shot! That one is stopped by Anderson. Go to the left side where Carrier will get to it, and he'll flip it out. Devils again starting strong here in this second overtime. Nemec with the long stretch pass out of the reach. Won't be an icing. Anderson will play it. Puck is loose. Big time hit there by Dowling on one of the Hurricanes players. Another big hit. The crowd likes that. Nemec now coming in for New Jersey. Nemec around. Wait. Shot. He scores! Shimon Nemec in overtime! And the Devils are back in the series. They win in double overtime. 3-2. The Slovakian defenseman in his second year in the NHL gets his big NHL moment, and the Devils win it in overtime. What a win for the Devils. Despite giving up a 2-0 lead, they fight tooth and nail, and they get one past Anderson, and the Devils win it in double overtime, thanks to, of all people, Shimon Nemec, who has gone through so much this year, a lot of criticism, a lot of hatred from a lot of fans, but he gets his NHL moment with his first career playoff and first career overtime game-winning goal. And the New Jersey Devils are back in the series as they have cut the deficit to 1 and will have a chance to tie the series up on Sunday afternoon, excuse me. Wow. I think my face went like completely red there, by the way. What a game. You got to give so much credit to the Hurricanes and Freddie Anderson, but what a play and what a goal from Shimon Nemec. What a play and what a game. What an unbelievable game. I'm going to definitely clip that goal call for sure. But wow, what a win for the New Jersey Devils. That was incredible. Their first overtime win in the Stanley Cup playoffs in 13 years. Alexei Ponikarovsky had the last one, and it's Shimon Nemec with the game winner, and that was awesome. And on that note, everybody, that will do it for me here tonight for this live watch along. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me all night long. Really do appreciate it. If you liked what you saw, leave a like on this stream. Hit the subscribe button if you're new and punch that notification bell so you don't miss on any live watch alongs that we do throughout the Stanley Cup playoffs. Please do so and give support to everybody, not just me. Everybody here at the network, please do so. And make sure to follow us on social media, Instagram, and also Twitter at hockeypodnet. You can also follow my personal Twitter at the THENVPSHOW, or you can just search Neil Villapiano and you can find it. And also make sure to go check out my podcast, the Devil State of Mind podcast, which covers the victorious New Jersey Devils here tonight. And I give you the best coverage of the New Jersey Devils here throughout this one. But yes, you're absolutely right, Andrew. I can breathe. I can finally breathe and I can relax. Isha, of course, comes in literally at the last second. What is up, my friend? Good to see you. You missed an absolute awesome goal call from yours truly. Go back and listen to it if you haven't. If you haven't yet, I'd highly recommend it. It was a good one. I actually was impressed by how good it was for myself. But thank you so much. Stoffel saying, thank you, Neil. We have a few more games together this year. We do. I unfortunately will not be live for game number 4. Game 4 might be live on the channel, but I won't be a part of it because I will be at the Prudential Center for game number 4. I am so excited to be there, especially with the win tonight here in double overtime. But again, he's just saying, fuck the Leafs. It's not working out this time. Isha unfortunately says, go Devils. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Devils winning in double overtime. Have to get up to go to work at 3 a.m. So, Danelle, you should definitely go to sleep. Everybody should go to sleep. The Kings and Oilers are now at 4. Kings up 4-3 on the Oilers after 2. But again, thank you all so very much, and we will see you in the next live watch along. Once again, the final score from New Jersey: the Devils win it in double overtime, thanks to second-year defenseman Shimon Nemec. Everyone continue to be the awesome people that you are. And as I always say at the end of every live watch along, make sure to rock on.